Don't give up on your Warriors just yet. Folks, if you I hope you had a chance to watch that game. That was fun. And if someone had told me, all right, look, we're going to trade Jonathan Kuminga, but we're also going to basically relegate Podziemski to the end of the bench and maybe give him some spot minutes here and there. Side note, even though spot minutes are too much. But point is, if losing Kuminga means losing Podziemski, all right. I mean, we might have a little trade-off here that results in a fun, exciting brand of basketball. Pat the Stash picking up the slack. And the Golden State Warriors winning in Phoenix. A final score, 101-97, capped by, I believe, a 22-5 run to close it. And unbelievable. This was fantastic. This was a fun night. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I sound like I'm experiencing puberty right now, but even though my voice is doing this every once in a while, I'm kidding. That was fun. That was fun. That was a fun game. And again, if you're a Golden Daisier, if you're a part of this show on a consistent basis, this is why you are the highest IQ audience of any Warriors show, any NBA show, and it ain't even damn close. Because we've been telling you for a year now, Guy Santos deserves minutes. We've been telling you for nearly 2 years now, D'Anthony Melton's a real basketball player. We've been telling you for I don't know how many years now, Brandon Podziemski should not be playing, just should not be a part of this team. And tonight, Melton takes the point, does a fantastic job. Guy Santos gets a 35-minute run, and the Warriors win. Even Big Al got in on the party. The Warriors set a franchise record in the first half of this game with 30. Hold on, let me just confirm that. I want to get this stat correct. 37 first half three-point attempts, a franchise record for most threes chucked up in a half, and it paid off largely because of Pat the Stash going 6 of 10 from deep, a career high 6 made threes, and your Warriors are victorious in the desert. You're absolutely right. I go rot discovery. I think however you pronounce that. Yeah, it was a breathtaking final seconds and minutes and unreal. Yes, and I think if you're not at this conclusion by now, I don't know what the hell you're smoking. Tonasa Hadi writing in our chat, just DNP Podziemski and make plans for life without him. He's just not a real basketball player. Are the Podziemski stands going to show up tonight and defend him? Podziemski did not start tonight, played just 12 minutes and 11 seconds, 0 points, 0 made field goals, and was one of only 4 players in the negative in net rating, but his minus 21 compared with the next lowest being a minus 3 spoke volumes to his negative impact tonight. We'll talk about it. And again, for the folks saying, why are you reading net rating? You promised you wouldn't. Okay, I'll ignore that. We could talk about all the other aspects of his game, which are absolute trash. Regardless, when the Warriors play the best players, good things happen. This is why I've been arguing that the problem with this team has never been the roster. It's with the damn coach and who he keeps playing. Let's have some fun tonight. Yeah, Riz, you're absolutely right. Just not needed. Just end of the bench, move on, just like you have done with nearly all of your other draft picks, not named Moses Moody. He ain't him. He ain't him. But D'Anthony Melton is him. Pat Spencer is at least fun. And what, besides the three-point party, match and physicality with Dylan Brooks out there. Dylan was not having the time of his life because Pat the Stash was matching the moxie. Pat the Stash. Well, let's have a party. Let's have a show. We're not gonna act like this win is just the magic elixir, but that was a fun game. That was a fun brand of Warriors basketball, and look, they beat Phoenix in Phoenix with players that are actually exciting to watch. The best players actually played. Let's talk about it. You're almost at Friday. A lot of you watching this are probably watching the recording, and it is Friday. So happy Friday. Happy almost Friday. Here in the West Coast, we're 2.5 hours away from it officially being Friday. And this program is powered by FanDuel, and it's called the Golden Days. Let's go. Welcome to the show. It's called the Golden Days. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz, your host for the evening, coming to you live from the Golden Days studios in West Sonoma County, California. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at Dog Wild, over on Twitter at Surf Journalist, the program on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. And as I mentioned, we're brought to you by FanDuel. I was tweeting this out earlier, and now I'm having some slight reservations because the under for the Warriors, the win-loss total for them entering tonight's game was 42.5. And I was feeling really good about the under. However, if Steve Kerr suddenly decides, and side note, FanDuel just took the OU down for your Warriors. Literally the most unpredictable team, the most difficult to read by a long shot. You can't bet on the Warriors to make the play-in. No, you can't. They just took everything about the Warriors off. I cannot. That's really funny. This result tonight spooked the bookmakers. There are no lines currently for the Warriors. They saw that and they were like, whoa. Wait. They're thinking about pulling back on Pajemski? We need to reevaluate this whole damn thing now, because if you don't play pods and you stick GP2 where he's supposed to go as a guard and not like a damn power forward at 6'2", this team can make a little noise. I mean, they're not a title contender, obviously, but at least they're fun to watch. They're entertaining. It's a good brand of basketball. The offense flows. Gooey Santos. Our FanDuel player of the game, however, is Pat Spencer, the stash, who in 32 minutes and 24 seconds of play, 6 of 11 from the field, all 6 field goals made were threes. Finished the game with a team-high 20 points on 6 of 10 shooting from deep. Had 1 field goal attempt inside the three-point line. Missed that. Who cares? Was also 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Did have 4 turnovers, but that's what playmakers do. And that's a huge reason why the nerd, I don't know if nerds is the right word, but there's a lot of folks out there who I think are misguided in focusing on assist to turnover ratio. One of the most grossly overrated stats I've ever seen in my life, for the simple reason that if you think it's so important, take a look at Michael Jordan's assist to turnover ratio. Take a look at Kobe Bryant's assist to turnover ratio. I don't even know if Stephen Curry's assist to turnover ratio is exemplary. It's not a stat that I will ever rely on to judge a player. And because when you're playmaking, when you're trying to score out there consistently, turnovers will come with that sometimes. But if you're scoring, if you're mostly successful, and those turnovers are not costly, you live with that. That's been Warriors basketball from the get-go. Anyway, so he had 4 turnovers tonight, which were a team high. Who the F cares? You won. And he also had 2 steals in this game, 20 points for Pat the Stash. And in one of the weird net rating categories, I want to read this off quickly just because of the peculiarity of it. DeAnthony Melton, a plus 21 in net rating tonight. Steve Kerr mentioning in pregame that the minute restriction on him might be lifted soon, or at least raised from the 25 it's currently at. He played 24 minutes, 43 seconds tonight, but he did start his first start of the season for the Golden State Warriors. And again, a plus 21 in net rating, third on the team in scoring with 17 points. Guy Santos second with 18 points. Guy Santos, side note, one of many things we've been saying on this show, he can handle the facilitator role. He's played point guard for Brazil in Brazil. And tonight, 7 assists for Gui, leading the team. Gui Santos also leading the team in minutes, playing 35 minutes, 56 seconds. Now, the downside, maybe, is when the Warriors play next, is Steve Kerr going to follow the recipe that resulted in success? And that, unfortunately, has not usually been the case. And it's why I'm guessing a lot of you, myself included, are skeptical following a game like tonight. But for one night, we saw a semblance of sanity. We saw a semblance of logic and reasoning in terms of rotational decisions, in terms of the right players getting the right minutes. I'm looking at my phone because the Warriors next play the LA Lakers Saturday in LA. We'll talk about Kristaps Porzingis, a.k.a. Tingus Pingus, in a second in terms of his availability and just some more details about the trade. But Gui, fantastic. I like follow this model, please, of success. I beg of Steve Kerr. Anyways, DeAnthony Melton, I was talking about net rating just a second ago, finished this game a plus 21 in net rating. The flip side of that, Brandon Podziemski, a minus 21. Woo! But this was just fun. This was a good game. The best ever in the chat. The best ever side note, are you thrilled? Are you happy now that Kuminga is no longer a part of this team? I mean, your wish was granted. Saying Softingus is supposed to be available for that game. Again, supposed to be, but all indications are the LA game will not be when he makes his debut. In fact, I think they actually explicitly stated that. My prediction is Porzingis, a.k.a. Tingus Pingus, will be available for his first game when the Warriors are home Monday hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. That would be my prediction for Tingus Pingus's debut with the Golden State Warriors. But Hamza Kassem's asking, did I like that GP2 played and finally stepped up? I like the fact that he was finally used properly. Like, I didn't see him out there as their power forward. I didn't see him out there alongside two other 6'2", 6'3" guards. That's when it makes no damn sense. When you're using him as a guard, and when he's the lone player who's out there primarily for defensive purposes, while being limited offensively, even though tonight he was 3 of 6 from deep. Just the threes were falling for a lot of dudes. GP2 included. Yeah, it works out. GP2 actually tied for the team lead tonight in rebounds with 8, including 3 offensive rebounds. The guy he tied with for the team lead in rebounding, Moses Moody, who also grabbed 8 rebounds. And even though for Moody it was not an exemplary night offensively, scoring just 6 points on 2 made threes, he was 2 of 7 from deep, 8 rebounds. Added a block and an assist. And maybe most importantly for Moody, the dude provides a service defensively. And this is why the Podziemski supporters, a.k.a. the Steve Kerr apologists, are just so dense. Breathe less with your mouth, more with your nose, please. There is a clear-cut difference between a guy who does nothing out there except take charges once in a while and gives you the kind of hustle that deserves participation ribbons, and a guy with a 7'1" wingspan who can give you legitimate minutes defensively, which is where half the battle is played. So, anyways, going back to GP2, yeah, he was utilized properly, and he played. Tingus Pingus. I don't know. In case you're wondering, why do you keep calling Porzingis that? There is an epic legendary clip out there. I don't know who the New York fan is. It sounds like Michael Rappaport. I don't know if it's really him, but it's a 10-year-old clip. It's from when Kristaps Porzingis was drafted by the New York Knicks, and some New York Knicks super fan is just going off on an unhinged rant about him, calling him Tingus Pingus from what did he call? He rephrased the country of Latvia. I forgot what he called it. Anyways, but I don't know if it's so crass. There's so many mother effings in there, so many F-bombs in there. I need to edit that clip before I play it on the show, but The best ever saying it is whack ass Rappaport. Well, in this case, Michael Rappaport delivered because it's funny as F bomb, and he coined the nickname for Kristaps Porzingis, Tingus Pingus. And side note, it's a nickname that Kristaps himself is familiar with. This was during his time with the Knicks. He did watch the clip himself. He found it amusing. But Tingus Pingus, a funny ass nickname. The Riz in the chat saying that he's only going to play 3 games for your Golden State Warriors this year. Who knows? Again, a massive flag for Tingus Pingus is he was listed as questionable for his last game with the Atlanta Hawks. This was Tuesday. And meaning like he could have been available for the first time since I believe January 7th. And however, he was listed as questionable because of illness. And this is someone who about a year and change ago was diagnosed with POTS, an autoimmune disorder, a very unique case that's likely going to plague him for the rest of his life. And that will likely follow him wherever he goes. And so to Riz, to your point, you might be right, where his availability will be very limited. But look, man, this Warriors team, I've been saying all year, man, you look at this roster and it ain't bad. It's got a couple weak links in it. There's some chinks in the armor. And those chinks, sadly, are Steve Kerr's favorite part of the armor, which has been absolutely psychotic. But and that chink largely starts, and sorry, I should start saying this. That sounds kind of racial. But you know the defectiveness in the armor comes from very specifically starts with Brandon Podziemski. He is literally the worst player on this team. Literally, when you don't play him, when you use GP2 in a manner that is actually positive, Draymond Green, by the way, is I think very subtly and quietly seeing his role diminished. He did not close this game tonight. In fact, in the fourth quarter, Draymond, let me see how many minutes he played in the fourth. Played 5 minutes and 25 seconds in the fourth. And to give you some perspective on that, so he did play a little bit, but he didn't close. Guy Santos played 9 minutes, 13 seconds in the fourth. Pat Spencer, 9 minutes, 48 seconds in the fourth. DeAnthony Melton, 7 minutes, 43 seconds in the fourth. Moses Moody, 7 minutes, 11 seconds in the fourth. Big Al Horford. Side note, tomorrow, Friday happy hour, the Professor Armando Laura. Will he have a revised analysis on Big Al, who, when he hits his threes, looks good. When he doesn't hit his threes, looks bad. It really is black and white with him. He was hitting the threes tonight. Anyways, he had 7 minutes. He played 7 minutes and 4 seconds tonight. And Will Richard, my guy, played 7 minutes and 7 seconds tonight. Malachi Leons did not play. Who knows how this team looks if that dude starts getting minutes? G4, I'm disagreeing with me, saying Big Al's defense helped tonight. Again, easy to say that when the Warriors squeak out a 101-97 win and Big Al hits 2 big threes in this game and scores 13 points. But I digress. Yeah, his defense was okay tonight, but there are a lot of nights too where his defense does not look good. Case in point, the very last game the Warriors played when he had 0 rebounds in like 20 minutes. But anyways, when he's hitting the threes, when he's making buckets, Big Al with 13 points tonight, it looks good. And in that fourth quarter, Draymond, again, he played less minutes than Moody, Santos, the Stash, Melton, Big Al, Will Richard, and then Draymond Green. And that's symbolic. The speaker adding that Big Al tonight was aggressive. Again, bring the heat tomorrow when the Professor Armando Laura joins us. Bring it. It's going to be an early show, by the way, from 4 to 5. So stay tuned for that. But that should be a fun one. Anyway, so your Golden State Warriors tonight, victorious. The Phoenix Suns frustrated the entire night, largely because of the tenacity of your Golden State Warriors. They got pieces on this team. I'm curious to see how they look when Stephen Curry comes back. I don't know when that's going to be. Curious to see how this team looks when Kristaps Porzingis comes back. But when you play the right players, good things happen. I'm also starting to think that if and when Kristaps Porzingis does come back, it's going to likely spell the end of Quinton Post, who only played 5 minutes, 43 seconds tonight, 0 points for him. And again, him and Porzingis are like clones. I don't see what the role is moving forward with Quinton Post if Tingus Pingus plays. If he doesn't play, who knows? I thought I saw something that. Hamza Kassem in the chat's asking who's going to be the Warriors' second scoring option in the playoffs if they make it. Well, D'Anthony Melton's the de facto. Guy Santos second on the team tonight in scoring. And in case you're wondering, like Cy, why do you have like once or twice a year a total meltdown during this whole Kuminga, Steve Kerr 3+ year drama? It's because if Kerr had given Kuminga the type of rope that Guy Santos got tonight, this team would have been that much better. Guy Santos played 35 minutes, 56 seconds, a close second in FanDuel Player of the Game honors. 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 6 from deep. That's 50% shooting, 7 assists because he actually is a complete basketball player, and that includes ball handling skills, 4 boards, a block, a steal. When you play 35 minutes, 56 seconds, and you're playmaking out there and you're second on the team in minutes, you're going to get some turnovers. He had 3 turnovers. Big deal. You won. 18 points for Gooey. Keep playing Gooey. So anyways, when it comes to scoring, Hamza, it's going to come. D'Anthony Melton will be your number 2 guy. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that Pat Spencer is going to do this on a night-by-night basis, but at the same time, don't take this away from him. In case people forgot, do you remember the last time the Stash was letting it rip in those back-to-back games at Philly and Cleveland? And we all thought to ourselves, whoa, this is a little intriguing. Let's see what happens here. And then what happened? Just he got relegated for no good damn reason because the Warriors have a head coach who's a madman. Absolute psychopath in terms of like trying to make sense of who he plays when. It's utterly insane. So what I'm sitting here trying to say is play Pat. Let the Stash loose. He had a good game tonight. If you want to join the show, link is in the chat. Effective right now. If anybody wants to join, and if you have some thoughts, if you have some different perspectives. Want to mention Tingus Pingus, by the way. As I mentioned a moment ago, don't expect him for Saturday's game against the Lakers. What is expected is Porzingis will make his debut with the team Saturday. So he's likely going to be sitting on the bench, likely not dressed up. Monday could be the debut. And I imagine there'll be some sound bites of play from that. Side note, even with the window marginalized for these press conference bits, the NBA still egregiously flagged me for copyright, and I'm disputing all these things, but it's suddenly like they have so much power that YouTube can just withhold all the revenue for that for 30 days. That's if they don't dispute my dispute. It's ridiculous. The NBA is just a clown show. And case in point, in case you're wondering, well, maybe you are violating copyright. No, I'm not. B, Ryan Leong is, and many others are experiencing the same issue, and he's literally recording these press conferences himself with explicit permission from the Golden State Warriors, uploading it to YouTube, and then the NBA's flagging him for illegal content, and they're trying to scare all these people off. I'm disputing it. I'm saying let's fight. I'm fighting it is what I'm doing. But the point is that who cares? I know none of you care. Who do we got? Slash, do you want to be on camera tonight? I see you. You don't normally show yourself. I just want to make sure you're cool with that. Thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, camera's off. All right. I don't care. I don't normally see a visual of Slash, and he's sitting there with the shirt off. And I just wasn't sure if that's what you wanted on the show tonight. But Slash, are you ready?
Yeah. What's
All right,
going
man. How you doing, brother?
How you doing? No, it's hot.
It's warm where you live, huh? You look comfortable.
Yeah, it's hot in my apartment, so yeah, gotta keep myself cool.
Sounds good. What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, this was a great game. Great game. I think we lost 3 guys in the trade deadline fiasco, right? But I think slimming down the team actually helped. I don't think we win this game with the way our roster was before. I think slimming it down and giving people really defined, I won't say defined roles, but everybody played well, right? Briefly on Kuminga being traded.
If you approach me with this perspective from the trade deadline, which is, hey, Cy, would you be cool trading Jonathan Kuminga away for a bag of chips, but you also trade Buddy Hield away and we'll bench Pajemski? It ain't a no. It ain't a hard no. I don't even know if it's a no. Yeah. And tonight was case in point of why you should play your best players, man.
Yeah, and I think now you can start to see when Seth and Steph come back, when we add Porzingis, who, look, man, I don't know what we're going to get from him, honestly.
No one does. No one does.
He has a weird injury history and all that, so we don't know what we're going to get. But I will say the team looks it looks more functional now. Like, everybody has a role. Everybody has a place. I don't know what they're going to do with Pat Spencer because I think tonight was his last.
They're almost. I'm almost certain that they're going to give him a guaranteed deal and that's likely why the Trace Jackson Davis trade happened. Is so they could give Pat that contract. However, they're not going to give it to him before his 50 days are up because if they do it any sooner, that costs the Warriors extra money. And as we're learning time and time and again. Joe Lacob and company, they do count those pennies, and so it saves them a little money to wait until he's used up all of his two-way leeway, if you will.
Yeah,
but he'll be given a contract. Yeah,
No, because he was big tonight, and Guy Santos. I've already said multiple times when I've been on here, he's one of our best players. Because I don't think we win tonight without Guy, right?
Oh, 100% agreed. Yeah.
I think he really, if he gets the run he's supposed to, and we have him next year for whatever reason, he's gonna be even better. Because he does everything that we need him to do, honestly.
Agreed. Yeah. And someone in the chat mentioned here. I got to bring it up here. Not Val, who says he's using a hair system attached to his headband. No, not the sideshow Bob. Oh, Mr. Silax saying that Pajemski had 12 minutes of hustle. It's fine. Are you kidding? Are you being facetious saying that? Because those 12 minutes of hustle were straight ass. I'm guessing you're being facetious, but.
Well, they did say on the broadcast that he was under the weather or something.
They said that, and he was listed as questionable for the second half. But look, don't play if you're not feeling well. I mean, why are you forcing yourself out there? Why is Steve Kerr not cognizant enough to be aware that Pajemski's under the weather? And let's not use that as an excuse. This is not the first time we've seen the Warriors suddenly take it to a next level when the right players are benched and the right players play. I always think back to last year where there was that stretch of games when GP2 was injured, and we learned from that injury that he was the reason why Kuminga's minutes were limited. Kuminga steps in, they beat the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Grizzlies, one of the last moments when the Grizzlies were still relevant and decent. And that's when I was like, this team's winning a title. This is like the pieces are put together. And then what happens? GP2 comes back and then Kuminga's relegated again or DNP'd, and the rest is history. Dude, this is Steve Kerr's weakness. I mean, for all we know.
So what? Let me ask you a question, and I came on here and said I was going to ask you, why do you think they didn't trade Pops?
Because Steve Kerr loves him. It's Steve Kerr loves this kid. Why? That's the great question. Because and I've been saying this for years, man. Steve Kerr is just not a good talent evaluator. That is not only not a strength, it is a blatant weakness. Like, it is a blind spot in his vision. Dude just has no idea what a good basketball player is and what a bad basketball player is. Dude has no idea which lineups work and which don't work. He's been blessed with front offices to do that job for him. And when the impetus was placed on his lap, he's been butchering this shit for 4 years. It's very unfortunate, man.
Yeah,
it's very unfortunate.
And I think with tonight's game, you can clearly see that Pat is just better.
Yeah.
Pat is
it's incredible how many people were like calling me out, like, because I had the audacity to say Pat Spencer is a better player than Brandon Pajemski. Did tonight not convince you otherwise?
No,
look, I'm not. Don't take this as a personal attack. God damn it! It's NBA basketball. It's pro sports. These guys are all privileged. It's part of the territory when you sign up to play athletics. If you make it to the top level, you're gonna have media schlubs like this guy with two thumbs pointed his way, critiquing you if you don't play well. I'm also gonna praise you if you do play well. The analysis, the critique, it's part of the package. And Brandon Pajemski, this ain't personal. He just is not a good NBA basketball player. He doesn't belong out there, man. Any other team, he would not be getting a minute of action. With the Warriors, Steve Kerr loves him like he's a stepson. Steve Kerr also named his son Nick. So none of this shit makes sense with this guy.
No, but I think from a basketball standpoint, I think the difference that I saw today, right? Although, like we said, Pods was under the weather. I think Pat just makes better decisions in a quicker window of time, right? I'm not saying they're always correct, right? It doesn't always lead to a score, but he makes a quicker decision in a pocket of time. With Pods, you're taking at least 3 seconds off for him to pump fake and then try to make a decision and be caught in the air, caught somewhere, right? And I think with this team, with this rotation, you can't do that. You need to make a quick decision, whatever it is, and just go. Right?
And by the way, TLC in the chat saying, thank God they freed a roster spot, getting rid of Kuminga to sign Pat. They did not do it for Pat Spencer. That's what the Trace Jackson Davis trade was for, where they traded him to the Raptors for a second-round pick that's owned by the Lakers. So if you feel gratification that they let Trace Jackson Davis go for him, I guess. I mean,
I think they should have kept him.
Yeah, I do. I would have, like, the fact that they signed Porzingis makes me wish they moved on from Post. I like to me, Trace Jackson Davis is more of an NBA basketball player than Post.
I think if they knew Kristaps' injury history wasn't as bad, they probably would have. But they can't do that, because if you do that and he gets hurt, then who do you have? Right?
Al Horford.
Yeah, but he's
it's like I feel like this is what a Steve Kerr run organization does. They just see what's trendy and they're like, oh, remember like when Quentin Post first was drafted and they asked Steve Kerr, have you ever had a stretch five? And he was like, no. Like, this is something new for me. And this was like a year and a half from ago. It wasn't that long ago. Like, he's all about just what. Oh, this is trending right now. Like, bigs shoot threes. Let's just get all of them all of a sudden. And like that's just how he rolls, man. And that's Quentin Post. To him, that's the value. Quentin Post is a stretch big. Trace Jackson Davis was not a stretch big, but you're probably going to need Trace Jackson Davis for certain games where you need physicality, where you need someone to match another big, like a Jalen Duren, for example. I don't know what the Warriors' answer is for that. Maybe Draymond. Maybe that's what they're looking at is, well, we're paying Draymond $25 million. And I'm guessing that's the rationale, if there is a rationale to it. But I personally miss Trace Jackson Davis. I do. I liked him.
Yeah, no, I think they should have kept him. I think right now, like, I heard Kerr say that, he's never had somebody like Porzingis before. And I'm like,
he's full of shit, dude.
Are we?
He's full of shit.
Are we sure?
He also said today, I won't bother playing the clip, but he also said earlier today that I wish we could have made it happen with Kuminga. And I'm sitting here
Yeah,
listening to this going,
yeah,
you're the guy in charge.
yeah.
Like that was arguably the most disingenuous comment I've ever heard from an NBA head coach in recent history. Like you're literally in charge, and you're sitting here saying you wish you could have made it happen. Dude, you're the head coach. You're the anointed king of Chase Center, which is psychotic in and of itself. But you're sitting here saying you couldn't make it happen. You're in charge. Like it's asinine, dude. The phoniness, the lack of anything genuine from these shot callers, man. It's sad.
No, see, this is the last thing I'll say. I think this Kuminga thing, right? Even though he's been traded, he's in Atlanta. I hope he does well. I hope he does great, actually. But I think it's going to.
Okay. Oh. Well, am I still here? Can you folks still see me? Was that me? My TV's still on. My judge for the internet connection is always, is my TV working? Yes, I still see Amazon Prime's post-game coverage. Let's try one more time. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here.
What's your take on Kuminga real quick?
No, what I was saying is I think the way that they treated him is going to have a lasting effect in terms of free agents and try to get people to come over, because you can't do that, right? And then the statement that he made today was like, oh, we could have made it work. And I'm like, okay, but you had the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, and it was just there's just such a rotten.
About it like he was disgruntled and just refused to play, and I'm like, no, that's not what happened at all.
It's sad. No, it is sad. It's sad, and again, to me, the roster construction has never been the issue. It's what the head coach, who he thinks is the best players on this team. And it's very sad that like the front office has to be like so peculiar in who they sign, because there's a danger that if they sign a guy that is only good for the very end of the bench, that your head coach might play him because he just feels something in his gut that tells him this is the right guy. It's madness, man. This is not how you run an organization, yet here we are. And this is a sign of ignorance from the folks who still think that Kerr knows what he's doing, or even worse, that Brandon Podziemski is a real NBA player. PKT Lovett in the chat saying that Podziemski has a plus minus of plus 596 in his career. Kuminga has a plus minus of plus 84 in his career. Friendly reminder, individual net rating doesn't mean shit. And case in point, if you do your research on who Podziemski was playing with to get that plus 596, the vast majority of those minutes, I'd say like easily 95% of them, he was playing with Steph and with Draymond. And then when Jimmy Butler got here, he was always on the floor with Steph, Dre, and Jimmy. And that's what Steve Kerr was doing. He just kept putting pods out there with these Hall of Famers in their prime. Now, fast forward to this year, Steph is officially on the decline. Still a badass basketball player, but we can't fool ourselves, man. Like, he's not peak Steph. He's like 95, 90% Steph. So now you have a Stephen Curry who's no longer, the guy, like, he's still unbelievable. I don't mean to like diminish him, but I hope you folks can understand. Like, he's not quite the same guy anymore. He's showing his age a little bit. And then Draymond has taken a steep drop off. Jimmy's hurt. Now you see his net rating and how bad it is because he's not surrounded by these all-time greats. Stop referring to this dumb stat, which doesn't mean jack shit. It is one of the worst introductions to statistics for the NBA in recent history that I can think of, given how many fools out there keep thinking that individual net rating means anything. It doesn't. You got to look at it from 5-man lineups. You got to look at it from who the other 4 people are. And you start to do the math there in terms of seeing what combinations work. Brandon Podziemski cannot carry a fly. All right? They lost to Philly at home, got their asses kicked in that game with Podziemski getting heavy minutes, and he puts up 8 points, and they get their asses whipped by an Eastern Conference team that's like a 5th or 6th seed. Give me a break, man. Dudes never won a ring either. And sorry, but that shit does matter to me. It's unbelievable.
Do you think we win the Philly game if that's Pat Spencer instead of?
Yeah, I mean, after seeing this tonight, it makes me wonder, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I just think Pat is just a better decision maker. That's all it is, right? It's not the offensive game. It's not even the defensive game. He reads the floor a lot better. Right?
And Tuck is now like, again, in his feelings about Podziemski. I can now tell when Tuck is getting his panties in a bunch because he starts writing in all caps, saying a few minutes ago you were comparing plus minus. When I bring up plus minus, it's either with lineups or it's added to the important stats that matter. If you want to ignore a plus minus with pods, great. I didn't bring it up tonight. That guy who said plus 580 versus Kuminga's plus 84, like that means something. Ignore that. Focus on the assists. Dude is second on the team in minutes, and he's near dead last in assists. Guy's second on the team in minutes, and he puts up, 11 points a game? Dude is second on the team in minutes, and he went through a stretch where he was something like 5 of 26 from 3. 0 of 3 tonight. Dude is second on the team in minutes, and he has one of the worst free throw percentages on this team. Those stats matter. Why you still think Podziemski is a real basketball player, it shows me one of two things. Either you're a stubborn ass who just never wants to admit they're wrong, or you're buying the bullshit propaganda from this feckless, weak media scene here in the San Francisco Bay Area who has zero independent thought, who has zero acumen for analysis, and all they do is just listen to Steve Kerr and parrot his talking points because they don't know any better. And that's what's going on here. It's very sad. It's pathetic if you still think Brandon Podziemski is a decent basketball player. Zero evidence other than a flawed subjective stat called plus minus that can reinforce your argument. And again, only when you're looking at it individually. Take a look at who's on the floor with him when those plus minus numbers are actually up. It's always Hall of Fame greatness. Steph, Dre, Jimmy. And side note, that shit ain't happening this year because Steph's taking a slight dip. Draymond's no longer a Hall of Famer. Jimmy Butler's off the floor. Oh, huge surprise. Now his plus minus is tanking.
My last question, who would you have as your starting five? With this
I thought tonight's was awesome. Like I saw Anthony Slater tweet it out, and I looked at it, and my immediate reaction was, oh, damn, that's good. I like that. Like so the starting lineup tonight was, and I tweeted that too. I put my shit on the record because I don't want to say something like even though I thought it, I'm going to tell everybody. I tweeted that shit right at the beginning of the game. The starting five tonight: Moses Moody, Guy Santos, Draymond playing the small five, because at this point, what other value does he bring to you? So even though he might play the four when Porzingis plays, but Porzingis hopefully is going to deliver. But tonight, Moody, Santos, Draymond, Pat Spencer, DeAnthony Melton, love it. No complaints. The only player that I would consider would be maybe Will Richard, but that's it. And he was surprised. You roll that lineup, you win. It's like, shocker. You play the best players and you won. And then watch next game. I got to give Podziemski his 25 minutes. Oh, no, we lost. It's unbelievable.
The defense at the end was incredible.
Fantastic. Everything about that lineup that started the game and close. And interestingly enough, the closing lineup did not have Draymond Green. Who was in there in the close? Let me pull that up real fast because that lineup deserves their accolades. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And again, the front office is colossally disappointing to me, largely because they just keep acquiescing to Steve Kerr and just keep listening to that guy. It's the dumbest thing imaginable. But they are putting together good teams. They might not be 15 deep, but they sure as shit are like 10 deep, 11 deep, and that's all you should need to have a successful, good team in the NBA. Let me look at the fourth quarter here just to see what did ESPN just do to their play-by-play. They changed their whole. I usually go to ESPN's play-by-play to get my picture painted, and then ESPN just goes mucking things up. All right, fourth quarter. Let me see who was in the closing lineup here, as ESPN just totally changed a very simple format. So it was Moses Moody, it was DeAnthony Melton, it was Guy Santos, Big Al Horford was in the closing five, and Pat Spencer. Love it. Was that the starting five too? Who got swapped out for Draymond in that? Who got swapped out? Who was the fifth? It was because Draymond didn't close. Oh no, it was Al Horford. Al Horford did not start the game tonight. Okay. So basically you close the game with Al Horford for Draymond Green. That was the one switch between the start and the end. Fantastic.
Yeah, and that's a lineup with speed, with youth, with length, right? This is the lineup that I think
athleticism, shooting, spacing. It's got it all.
Yeah. So,
like, and another thing with Podziemski, like what spacing does he provide? He's not like some elite shooter. Like he's the most mid-average dude on the planet. Like what are people what bullshit propaganda are you folks buying to still have faith in pods? You still think like individual net rating from 2 years ago is relevant? Like, get the F out of here, dude. He is not a good basketball player, not at the NBA level. Sorry. 1 year at Santa Clara, he shoots 43.8% from deep. And congrats, you duped Mike Dunleavy Jr. into drafting you. Like, that does what are we doing here, man? I do not get the Podziemski obsession. I have zero understanding of that.
Do you think he gets benched if they sign Pat? Does he get benched?
I think it's going to make a massive difference. I think it's going to make a massive difference between the team being successful and the team not being successful. So, if Kerr cares about winning, don't play him. If Kerr doesn't care about winning, play him. Simple. Don't you? What do you think?
Like I've always said, I think honestly, I think Pat's a lot better, right?
Yeah, me too.
Feel like
Mr. Silac saying Pods has a float game. What do you mean the float game that goes in like 1 out of every 7 attempts?
Yeah,
what are you talking about, dude? What are we doing here? So Silax, you were being genuine in pretending that Podziemski's 12 minutes tonight were decent? Are you out of your mind, dude? Come on, man. What are we doing here, dude?
No,
God damn it, man. Do people want to hear me admit that like in life I have made mistakes? I made a shitload of mistakes in life. I'm so far from perfect. I'm never going to brag about me individually because I'm just a human being. I've made mistakes. I've been wrong about shit before in the past. Plentiful. I ain't wrong about this though. And you Podziemski fools out there that just keep pretending he's a real basketball player, get over it. If tonight was not even more evidence, are you that stubborn or that dense or both? What is your rationale, man? Come on the show tonight if you really think Brandon Podziemski is that guy. I will not raise my voice. I'll stay calm, I promise. I'll let you talk. I'll let you spiel off whatever your rhetoric is for Podziemski being a guy deserving.
I think it's internet going out. That's mine is.
I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here. Look at Mr. Silax. You're still pod ceiling is unknown. Yes, it is. We've seen 3 years of this bullshit. It's pretty apparent what the ceiling is. It's very obvious what the ceiling is. The ceiling is out of this league in 2 years is what it is. Again, when you're the only team who plays someone, that's a flag. When you're the only team offering minutes to a guy that no other team gives a shit about, that's a flag. There's something you're doing wrong that you need to look in the mirror for and have some goddamn self-reflection. The problem is you. The problem is not the other 29 NBA teams. It's absolutely insane, man. Absolutely insane. I got someone, by the way, there was an audience member who used to come on in our chat a lot who went by Barber NBA, who has vanished. I don't know where you went, Barber. You went from being all cordial and friendly and saying, I'm going to invite you on my show, and now I'm getting emails saying you're talking shit about me. Where the hell are you? And again, this is the Kerr supporters, man. They're all cowardly little thin-skinned bitches who just worship a coach who was an average basketball player, and they worship him as a coach, pretending he had anything to do with this run, but they duck all the smoke. They can't actually defend the man with discourse. They'd sooner leave a show or go away because they know they can't hang in terms of defending this incompetency. It's very sad, dude. Barber, there you are. I'm not LOLing. Why are people emailing me saying you're talking shit? All right, well, again, I got an email right here, man. It's time to go to the mailbag.
Letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
Email from Josh saying, Dear Cy, Barber NBA keeps talking shit about you and making things personal. You should put him back in his place. Keep up the great shows. Josh, Barber, is he lying? Is this person just making shit up? If he is, then forgive me. Are they making shit up? Barber? You're saying let's go? Well, why have you never come on the show once? Why have you not invited me despite saying you were going to invite me on your program? What's going on with you? Slash, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just glad we won because it was looking, it was looking shaky there.
This was a great. It was, and huge surprise. It was every single time it got shaky is when they brought Brandon Sideshow Bob Pajemski into the game. Every single time. And every time he left the floor, then you see the Warriors come back and make a run. So it was not a coincidence.
You think Kerr like learned something from that?
What's up?
You think he learned something from that? I mean, he has to.
Who's he? Like Kerr?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, it would shock me if he did. I mean, look, it took Steve Kerr, 3 months to realize Buddy Hield should not be in the rotation? How long did it take him? It took him until late December, right? It took him until mid-January to start benching GP2. So, I mean, he does learn. It just takes him months longer than I'd say the average human being. Again, they named his son Nick.
I also feel like, and this is the last thing I'll say, I also feel like I know Steph isn't that guy to put his foot down or say anything, right? At least that we know of, right?
Well, because he's a basketball player. I mean, Slash, have you ever played athletics?
No. But I know people that have.
Right. Well, okay, but let's Slash. Just put yourself in the shoes of an athlete. In typical fashion, right? We're talking organized sports here, where you have a coach, you have officials, you're playing in a gym that maybe has some seats for people to sit in and watch you. If it's a big stage, even better. The way it typically goes is you, the athlete, do not challenge the coach. It's a very military style structure in terms of hierarchies, in terms of who's in command, who's giving orders. Athletes don't typically challenge their coach. In a setting like professional basketball, if you don't like the coach, you move on when your contract's expired. You don't talk back. In this case, it's a very unique situation where where Kerr has earned Steph's trust, winning these titles. Steph looks at Kerr as his coach, and he doesn't challenge him. And Draymond has this massive loyalty to him, largely because Steve Kerr, time and time and again, has come to his defense. Whether it was the Jordan Poole punch, hell, even just the incident a month ago where Draymond just stormed off. You have Steve Kerr the next day apologizing because he's got Dre's back. So Dre returns the favor. These guys have been through wars together. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. What's your question?
You make a good point.
Well, what's your question though? Where were we going to go?
I'm just saying. I think, because somebody was talking today about how does Steph win another ring, and I'm like, I don't know, right? I'm not even ruling it out this year, right? Because anything could happen, but I don't know, right? And I don't want I saw when Kobe was trying to get his 5th ring, right? I saw what that was like. It was a lot, right? And I don't want Curry or Draymond to have to go through that. No, let's not.
Slash, you've been on with you forever. PKT love it in the chat. Same guy who brought up that Pajemski plus minus comparing it to Kuminga, mentioning that Steve Kerr had a plus minus of plus 685 in his career. Gee, I wonder why. Do you think it's because he was out there with Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman? The guy was blessed. Of course, he had an absurd net rating. It's no surprise to me about that. When you're the leader of your team and your net rating is still surging like that, like Steph, Draymond, his career net rating is absurd. That to me carries a lot more weight than a role player who has individual net rating. But regardless, screw your net rating, man. That does not represent shit for an individual player. Means nothing other than, great, you were one of 5 dudes out there, and this is how the team did while you were out there. Okay. Who are the other 4 guys? If you're not providing that information, you're not providing full context. Complete stat. Not the full picture being shown. Dumb stat, man. Slash, I want to bring Barber on the show. He wants to talk to me.
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, brother. Slash, you were awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna bring Bloomer and Julian Bashir on, but Barber, are you talking shit about me, or is that guy full of shit?
I'll go.
All right, brother. Slash, you were awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna bring Bloomer. Turn your volume down, please, so we don't have an echo and delay and all that stuff.
Do you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, loud and clear. Okay, simple.
Turn your volume down, please. So we don't have an echo.
My TV. Okay, wait a second.
Do you hear me? Loud and clear.
Hello.
Thank you, Barber. How are you doing?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So let's make one thing straight. The talking shit on you or whatever. Let's be really specific. I don't see eye to eye with everything you're saying and the way you're presenting some stuff, but I don't have anything to say against the way you feel, the way you see it. All good. My only problem on all this is the whole focus of this show is supposed to be Golden State fan, winning, loving the team. Yes, we have to say when
no, it's not. I never said that.
Wrong.
I never said that, Barber.
But
if you want to show that,
there's only 2 words. It's Kerr pod, and then.
Okay, well, let me respond to that.
Okay, yes, I'll let you speak for it.
The head coach of the team is Steve Kerr. What am I supposed to do? Ignore the man who controls all the minutes?
Okay, so that's why last time I asked you, when did you left the Steve Kerr boat? You said 2 years ago, I think, or 3 years.
When I left the what?
The Steve Kerr boat, like you weren't
three and
with
a half years ago. Yes.
Okay,
basically,
so you
when
had
Anthony
what?
Lamb and Ty Jerome started getting minutes.
Yep.
My ears perked.
Okay, so you had 8 years of happy Kerr?
What's up?
So you had 8 years of happy Kerr?
No. Are you kidding me? 2019-20? Were you happy? 2020-21? Were you
2019.
Happy?
So you want to put the loss in final on Kerr?
No, 2019-20 was when they won 15 games in the NBA, the worst record. And what they showed for it was a draft pick that Kerr gave zero investment into.
The one we got, Wiseman. I don't want to mix those. Yeah, okay. So that's on Kerr's head, the Wiseman pick, right?
I think look, if you're going to credit Kerr for 4 championships, don't ignore a 15-win season. Phil Jackson never missed the playoffs.
Okay, ever. So a 15-win.
I don't think Pat Riley did either. Yeah.
So 4 chip is worth less than 1 bad season.
Well, it's not 1 bad season. They're about to have 4 straight.
Okay, but still, Golden State was nothing before the Steph Curry era.
Bullshit.
Yes, the coach.
Barber, bullshit. I'm not going to let you A, talk over me. B, bullshit, because the Warriors with Mark Jackson were in the postseason 2 straight years. Do not pretend that Steve Kerr showed up and then everything was magical. I also brought up the very last episode that the difference between Mark Jackson's last year and Steve Kerr's first year, side note, Mark Jackson's last year, the Warriors were still a 50-win team. In case you're not paying attention to the NBA, reaching 50 wins, damn impressive. They were also injury depleted in that first round series against the Clippers. Did you not? Are you pretending that Andrew Bogut didn't play a role when they won the championship the next year? He was out for that series against the Clippers. He was also out in the NBA Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers when they won 73 games. He mattered to that team. He was missing in that stretch in that 7-game series. They add Sean Livingston. They add Leandro Barbosa. They add Brandon Rush. And you're going to pretend Steve Kerr is why the team is magically became a dynasty, and not maybe because, I don't know, they had one of the deepest, most amazing rosters ever.
Okay, first of all, tell me one team in history who won because the coach was so great and he had no good player. So let's start from the fact that all coach have ring because they have good player. Yes,
right.
They make good
You're
choice.
right. So why do you give so much credit to Kerr?
No, I'm not giving so much credit to Kerr. I'm saying don't give so much shit to Kerr.
Why? Why do you care, Barber?
Why would I care? Because the man is in charge of the team that I love, and he's a respectable man in charge, and everybody except
bullshit.
Bullshit,
Barber.
Where's the bullshit?
Bullshit.
Bullshit
Because I've actually been covering this team for 25 effing years professionally, and Steve Kerr is very punitive toward media members who are critical of him. There is a very clear reason why the media base around him are all his buddies. It's a sycophant nature. It's by design. The one dude who actually challenged him, Drew Schiller, got eliminated. Out. Side note, his stories are still up on NBC Sports Bay Area. If you want to take a look at the mildest criticism imaginable that was written in print, Steve Kerr blew his ass out. And he's got this perfect media scenario. He's also someone who treats every young player on this team, not named Brandon Podziemski, like shit when it comes to minutes. He also resembles the worst boss imaginable with the favoritism he plays and with the nonsensical rotations that sometimes feels and looks very vindictive. Case in point, Jonathan Kuminga. Case in point, James Wiseman. Case in point, Jordan Poole. Case in point, Moses Moody. The list goes on and on, but Podziemski's the one exception. And I know you love the team, but if you're going to sit here and say that all head coaches need talent, well then manage your talent appropriately. This team for 4 years has underachieved. I'm sitting here saying Stephen Curry on your team should have gotten you at least 5 titles. 4 is a disappointment.
Oh, okay. So what year did he fuck it up? So what year are you putting Curry's fault?
2023 is 1. 2019 is 2. And
2019 when like everybody fall down? Like KD,
one guy that fell down, and maybe you overused them. It's funny how every star player like collapses under this guy's watch. Steph is next, and another year, 73 win season.
Okay, but let's take this one at a time, because now you made it a whole thing about the whole media thing and
because Barber, you asked me why do you criticize this man and pretend like he's not a reasonable good dude. I'm sitting here telling you Steve Kerr is a child of privilege. Dude has grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, and he acts the part to this day. What I'm sitting here telling you, as someone who's covered this team for 25 effing years, is how he rolls is like the CEO of a company where he acts like he's a king. That's how Steve Kerr walks down the halls. That's how Steve Kerr rolls egotistically. He doesn't like being challenged. He just remember 2 years ago, Bruce Frazier, his best friend, who was out of basketball for nearly 10 years, was working in Hollywood, I think working in the stunt department or some weird shit. And Steve Kerr brings him out of the brink and makes him the number 1 assistant. Since when is nepotism a good thing, man? And I know that's rampant, but Steve Kerr's a part of this nepotistic climate and environment. Why do you think he's such a decent, good dude?
Okay. Calm down. You're starting to sweat that much.
You calm down too, though, man. And don't act like you're innocent here. Your voice is being raised too.
Well, I'm trying to put a word in every single time. I'm waiting for you to end your monologue on Steve Kerr, raised with a silver spoon. And okay, I just want to say it's simple. Every team in the league, every coach, it's the same thing with every media. Media that don't like them, they treat them this way.
Why do you make an assumption, Barber?
No, Toronto fired their coach right after they won the championship and the guy won the coach of the year.
You're getting riled up. Calm down.
Okay, so Toronto fired their coach after coach of the year.
Yes.
Then Denver fired their coach when everything's going great.
Fire Kerr.
Yeah.
Fire Kerr. Do that to Kerr too. That's what I'm saying.
Why do like everybody else when it doesn't mean nothing? At the end of the day, we can clearly see that changing coach is just a thing to do when player are paid too much. We'll change the coach because it's easier to do. It's like we changed something, but we didn't do nothing. You're all saying it. The coach doesn't mean shit. If he wins with them, he didn't do shit. If he lose, it's his fault.
That's the bottom line, Barber, with an NBA coach. And Rick Barry, the Hall of Famer, was just on here and said this 3 weeks ago.
Great point. Go with the
one responsibility for a head coach: manage minutes.
Okay, and
that's your job.
You didn't see how many times I repost when you talk to Rick. Ask him about Kerr, and you never said it because you knew He even said he feel it bad for him. So you knew he was on your side.
No, he doesn't. What are you talking about? I saw you trying to spam our chat when we was on last time. You wanted me to ask Rick whether or not Steve Kerr's minutes led to Jimmy Butler's injury. I remember you
he's a good coach.
Barber, do you really think Rick and I don't chat off the cameras all the time? He's a close friend of mine. You don't think I'm talking to him 24/7? Rick's not going to be as passionate about these opinions as I am because he has a very close relationship to the Golden State Warriors. His jersey hangs from the rafters. Okay, like he's going to play this more politically than I am. But he also came on here, this show, and said, Steve Kerr, why can you not make it fit with Kuminga? That's your one effing job. He blasted Kerr at the end of the postseason last year because of that. He came on the show and said very specifically, the one job of an NBA head coach is minutes, managing minutes. Brandon Podziemski's second on this team in minutes. How do you defend that? And if you think that coaches are so magical and important and indispensable, look at the Nuggets. They replaced Mike Malone with Adelman. Do you think Adelman's the reason why Denver's good?
Okay, so then why is there any coach in the league? Let's just go straight to AI.
I'll answer that for you. Barber, if you actually listen to me, instead of like pretending you're listening when it's really just going in one ear out the other, I'll tell you. The primary
I'm listening for 15 minutes now.
Okay, so I'm the only one who interrupts you and talks over you, even though you do it every fucking time I talk. The job of an NBA coach is to not F it up. The job of an NBA coach is to take the roster that a team gives you and not mess it up. It was damn near impossible to mess it up when you had teams like the 2015 Warriors stretching all the way to 2019. But then the moment things got tricky and you see Steve Kerr having to make these important decisions himself, you see this malfeasance. You see guys like Brad Wanamaker getting an absurd amount of minutes. You see guys like Michael Mulder getting an absurd amount of minutes. You see guys, you're talking over me. Dude, don't be a hypocrite. Let me finish, please. You see guys
you want me to put a timer? You've been talking 10 minutes.
It's my effing show, dude. Like, Jesus Christ. You told me you're going to invite me on your show. Invite me on your show and then do this to me if you want. What about Quinn Cook and the fact that he played Quinn Cook over David West and JaVale McGee? What about the fact that he plays Swaggy P over David West and JaVale McGee? What about the fact that he was playing Corey Joseph over guys like Moody and Jonathan Kuminga? Never mind that disastrous year with Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome. Never mind the fact that he was playing Lindsey. What was that guy's name? That they had on a year ago. Oh, God damn it, I can't remember his name. He was on the team for like half a season. Got him from OKC. Whatever. He was playing that guy over Moses Moody, and the team has to keep trading these guys because they know they're crutches for Steve Kerr. What has Steve Kerr done? Let me name one thing Kerr's done, like an actual thing he's done that's impressed you.
Okay, so
one thing. No, I asked you a question. Just answer that, please. Name one thing he's done that's impressed you.
He changed the whole way their team was playing anything.
How?
Okay, you can even go online right now and
no. I don't want that.
The only question you asked me.
So answer how.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You'll see Draymond Green saying when Steve Kerr came here and started telling us, pass the ball here, and we're like, but when are we fucking shooting the ball? We didn't get shit of how he wanted us to play. But he changed the whole way the team played. And then the whole guy was like, you know what? This guy's right. We weren't playing this way before, and now we're killing everybody. And at that time, wait a second. At that time, the whole league wanted to copy what Kerr was doing. Yes, right now, he's not doing so good. Because you know why? We're small. But that's not really his fault. Wait a second. You said
F off. No, don't tell me to wait a second on my show, man. I asked you one thing. Fine. You brought up an offensive system, the motion system that Steve Kerr brought in. Not unique, not original. He just took Greg Popovich's system, added the triangle to it as a flair, and that's it. Draymond Green and Stephen Curry were saying the exact same shit, and Klay Thompson, about Mark Jackson. They're respecting their coaches, dude. They're good people. That's what they do. And so you think because when Steve Kerr came and they compliment the fact that he wanted to put a more of an emphasis on moving the ball faster and passing more and a quicker shot, you honestly believe these players would not have figured this shit out on their own? Not to mention when Mark Jackson came in, he actually introduced defense to a team that hadn't seen it for 40 years. You're going to ignore everything Mark Jackson
something you can put on a coach as doing something good. What can he do good?
Repeat that. I didn't hear you. What?
If changing the whole system, the system that you're saying, it's not even his idea. When let's be real, nothing is.
It wasn't original. It wasn't original.
Okay, but nothing is original. Like I just said, you're a journalist. You got a course from a teacher, but I'm listening to you still.
I mean, I got a degree. I got a degree.
You got a degree from someone that gave you the degree.
Don't pretend I took one course, idiot. Like I'm a professor, asshole.
No, I just said respect, you don't listen. I said I have all the respect in the world for your paper or your teacher, whatever. Kerr got his paper. Kerr got his degree, like you, his coaching degree, if you want to call that. So let's just back it up.
There's no such thing as a coaching degree. There's no such thing.
No, but oh my God. Okay, just back it up.
Oh my God, dude! What experience did he have coaching before he got handed the head coaching job with the Warriors? Zero. So why do you even say that? What coaching degree?
Because I'm saying this in a way to just tell you the difference between you're saying to me, I am a professor, I have this and this and that. There's no such thing as a line to go coaching and teach, and so he got his job, did his job great. And anyway, we're going too far with the Kerr thing, because all I'm saying is you're all putting this on Kerr. I'm not that in love with Kerr and Pods. I'm just saying you're all going too far. Now,
agree to disagree.
Okay, I have one question then. I'll go right there. You said look at Kuminga, Wiseman, and Poole. You said that as it's Kerr's fault. Okay, Kuminga, you want to know? I would love Kuminga to be here, and it worked. Wiseman, it's a proof he was shit. And then Poole, it's a proof he's sitting on the bench in New Orleans. So he has not. If something has to be said about that, is Kerr made Poole good, because Poole is shit everywhere.
Let me ask you this. If a young student comes to your classroom
and
leaves worse than when they came in, you're going to ignore the teacher's role in that?
If he left worse than what? Then
when they came in.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole was regressing when they shipped him off. Jordan Poole was doing this and then went this, and then they traded him. But you're not going to blame Kerr at all for that.
For the downfall?
Jonathan Kuminga never got the opportunity.
I said Kuminga. I love him.
I know you did. But my point is, you keep absolving Kerr. You keep pretending.
I'm saying
Kerr. And I'm saying he's the one with the power.
Okay.
Do you not understand the dynamic of how the world works? When someone has the power, that's who you focus on.
There's a billionaire up there that doesn't care about all of them. Okay? Now
what?
There's a billionaire up there that could do anything. If he thought that Kerr was so bad, he would have been long gone.
Or maybe Joe's wrong too. Maybe Joe's wrong in all this too. That is his mistake.
Perfect. Now, the only person that I'm sure is saying what he wants is Draymond Green. And if you're telling me Draymond never said once to Kerr, hey, I'm sure we would win with Kuminga and Steph on the floor, it's impossible. Impossible. And Steph is maybe the good guy in front of the camera, but you're telling me he never sat with Kerr, gently talking. Yes, we could try maybe this way. It could work.
I am saying that. What I'm saying as someone who's been behind the scenes for 25 effing years is, and not to mention, I have damn close friends, literally sometimes in that locker room. I can tell you with certainty, every one of these players and coaches are on a very strict schedule. You act like people are just walking around and they're like, oh, hey, coach. Hey, and they just sit down and start chatting.
Come on. They've been together for 12 years.
Every second of Steph's life is scheduled.
Okay, even a minute every year with Steph is 12 minutes of talking about Kuminga or whatever, 5 years since 2020.
And I'm saying Steph doesn't roll like
still talk.
Steph does not roll like that. That's not
Steph
what he
wants
does.
to win. You're all saying that everything Kerr has is because of Steph. You think
Yes.
Kerr wouldn't listen to Steph saying, please leave him on the floor. I'll make
If
it work.
Steph said that. If, but he hasn't.
Oh, so
That's
he's
the
that
problem.
dumb?
What?
So he's that dumb. Steph is just no basketball IQ at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Well,
What
you're
I'm saying,
assuming it.
no, what I'm saying is Steph is playing his role. You just admitted you've never
No.
played.
Steph doesn't play his role. Steph is the role. So if Steph's saying...
A player, not a coach. He's not a coach. Why do you keep assuming that he wants to cross boundaries and start being a coach of this team?
It's not coaching to tell the coach one guy could be playing better with me and the team would be better. That's just one point. That's not coaching the game.
Again, Steph knows his role. He sticks to his role. That's the player.
So he's a little, sorry for the word, little bitch that just walks around being the best.
I promise you that's not how he sees it. The way he sees it is Steve Kerr's my head coach, and I'm going to listen to him because I respect him.
So they did have the talk about Kuminga, and he's listening to Kerr saying, I'm telling you, Steph, he's bad for you.
No, what I'm sitting here saying is that conversation never took place.
In 6 years, okay, and even Draymond Green never said anything.
No, Draymond probably did. And look, Joe Lacob, this is on public record. Joe Lacob asked Draymond Green to take Kuminga under his wing.
Yeah, because Lacob likes him. Yeah.
Jimmy Butler came in and basically treated Jonathan Kuminga like his little brother.
Yep.
You don't think Jimmy Butler would say something to Kerr? Kerr's gonna do what he wants to do, man.
Yeah,
and that dense.
Okay, so let's be just simple as that. Is Kerr trying to lose this season on purpose?
I keep using the word obtuse for Steve Kerr, meaning he's stubborn and dense. He thinks the 2022 title was because of him, and that is my core issue with him. It takes a shitload of ego to roll like that. Yet that is how Steve Kerr rolls.
You have a quote somewhere from him saying that?
Dude, your hypocrisy is so maddening. Don't lecture me about talking over, and then you do the same effing thing, man. It makes you look bad, all right? And you're making me look bad because I'm all fired up. Barbara, you're an ass, dude. I'm going to let you keep talking in a second, but don't be a hypocritical ass. What I'm sitting here telling you is that Steve Kerr, literally with his huge ego, thinks he was responsible, not just for 2022, but all 4 championships. That's how he rolls. And if you think that's a crazy thought, look at Bill Belichick. This is how dynasty coaches in a lot of cases work. Bill Walsh had the grace to walk away, which would have been amazing if Steve Kerr did that, because then I never say one bad thing about him. But Steve Kerr doesn't want to let go of his job because he's got a huge ego. He's got a lot of pride. He thinks very highly of himself, and he doesn't want to leave a job that makes him look and feel like a king.
Okay, perfect. Now, can you, just like you're saying right now, Kerr doesn't want to leave his job. So we should switch to anyone. All you just said, right now. The whole thing about Kerr is you're talking. So the whole thing the coach is doing is the lineup, right? Is the switching and the lineup, and that's all he can control. That's what you're saying.
Yes, and his power. That's the power he owns. Yes,
that's his only power.
Hundreds of millions of dollars with that power.
Okay, so when they got Kuminga, what happened for him to be did Kuminga, because you say you know a lot of people that we don't.
I don't know everything. I'm just telling you what I do know.
Okay, do you know one single thing that happened really between Kuminga and Kerr that fucked it up?
Yes, it was the game, the Warriors Nuggets game, where, and this was early, I believe, 2024, where the Warriors had a 20-point halftime lead. That lead starts to shrink in the second half. Steve Kerr doesn't bring Kuminga in the game once. And after the game, Steve Kerr, Jonathan Kuminga's in the locker room, irate. I broke that story, side note, Barber, in case you weren't aware of that. This show was the first place to report that. Then the next morning, Shams Charania reports, and then there's a story in The Athletic that Jonathan Kuminga wants out because he has a coach who doesn't play him, who doesn't value him. And then, side note, in the same 24-hour window, Moses Moody also asked for a trade. He wanted out too. And then you had Steve Kerr coming out publicly saying, I have an open door policy and all he had to do is come talk to me. And then you had Jonathan Kuminga saying, I didn't know he had an open door policy. Now I know that. We're good.
Okay,
and
perfect.
ever since that point, the relationship has been frayed. And if you're not aware of those DNPs, like the DNPs were the final straw. And Steve Kerr's only answer for that is fit.
That's his answer to the public, because he's not going to say the real thing
and
they all think.
I'm telling you for a fact privately, and this is one of many reasons why I'm critical of Kerr. He has awful communication skills. Like, let me give you here's an interesting fact for you, because I thankfully do know a lot of stuff behind the scenes. When Kuminga was holding out the whole summer for 3 months, remember this last summer, the contract standoff? Steve, and like in the media, someone reported like, oh, Steve Kerr's in touch with them. They're talking. I think Steve Kerr himself said that. You know what the entire line of communication is that whole summer between Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga? It was one text.
Probably because he didn't want it.
Just checking in, going, hey, man, I hope you're doing okay. That's it.
He didn't want him.
Summer,
he just didn't want him.
That's the coach who's supposed to have a relationship with his players. That is the extent of the communication.
Don't you think that the problem with
he's meanwhile telling the front office, who's also in this standoff with Kuminga, he's telling them, I can fix this. I can make it work. No,
this part you know it for sure. You know that Kerr said he could fix it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
I also can't tell things publicly.
No. Okay,
there's one thing that I wish I really could tell publicly, and I can't say it directly.
Well, you could. You just don't have to say who said it.
But that person would know I said it. And
okay, no problem. Keep going.
Record. I can tell you this with damn near certainty. The opinions I espouse about Steve Kerr, Mike Dunleavy Jr. feels the same way. And I'm not going to go into specifics, but what I'm echoing publicly, the front office privately feels the exact same way. However, this is a business, and they recognize the Steve Kerr, Stephen Curry relationship and the fact that they want this dynasty to be something they can milk for the next 30 years. Look at the Chicago Bulls. 30 years later, and they're still milking Michael Jordan, man, and doing absolutely nothing. That there's a value in maintaining that relationship from a business perspective. So they're trying to keep that part of it good, and they want to keep the section of the fans like you who think Steve Kerr is this brilliant genius. And
no, you see, that's the problem. We went way too far on that subject because you think I'm the big Kerr lover. I'm just thinking that you guys put too much on him. It's not his problem. The big problem was he had to work with 2 time frame, and it just didn't work. They never should have thought that way. They should have took those picks, traded for some good player, keep the run moving, and then Kerr had to deal with this shit. Had to deal with, I need to play 2, maybe great young guy, 2, 3, whatever, but I still have MVP level player. How the fuck do I mix those 2? Not
I have an answer
one.
for you. I have an answer for all that, Barber. You act like I have this opinion without having done my research. I can answer all this shit for you. Here's why I don't absolve Steve Kerr of that. Because first of all, Camelot makes a great point that if Stephen Curry was actually going to voice an opinion about who to play when, you don't think his brother would be out there? Steph and Seth still have yet. I know Seth's been out for a month, but he was active for about 3 weeks there as well. Steph and Seth have not played a single possession together yet. And not to mention, you don't think Steph would have been fighting for Seth to get a roster?
No. That's totally different. He's not gonna say something after 1 month just to be looking like. Even his brother would.
How do you know that? Well, I don't understand your assumptions here. You assume that Steph would fight for Kuminga if he liked him, but he wouldn't fight for Seth.
Because this is the whole thing over 5-6 years. Now we're talking about his brother that came 3 weeks ago.
Well, but even that, did you forget the fact that Seth was not signed at the start of the season and he had to wait until late November or early December?
I don't know the exact specific, but there was a thing with the number of players on the roster. They had to wait until up to what date? Yes. There was something specific about that.
Yes, and the specific thing was the team chose to sign GP2 and Melton and all these other guys
and still get Curry 2 months later. So everyone wins.
Okay.
Okay,
All
no,
right,
but then
they're not winning.
let's
They're
be
not
just
winning.
straight on one thing.
They're not winning. They're the 8 seed. So my point is, so Camelot has a point that if Steph, okay, look, Steph, there is no evidence, zero evidence that Steph.
Okay, but let's forget Kerr. Let's forget Kerr. The whole time I was complaining on that the whole show with you guys was just before Jimmy got hurt. We were what 7th seed, I think, and the difference between the golden 7 or 8 when
they're still the 8, yeah.
Okay, perfect, no problem. At that moment when Jimmy was still there, the difference between us and the 4th place was like pregame, but we are like garbage on that show. The coach, it's his fault. Everything is going wrong. But when you look at the other team in front, they have young, great, athletic, superstar player also. We don't have those players anymore. You're all saying we have old player, and in my point of view, like A+ G League player. So
did you not watch the game tonight, Barber?
You're all saying the East is trash, and we're 8th in the West with a stupid coach. Kaminga not playing. Like, why don't you see that we were winning? Like, we were still in the game. We beat Houston, 2nd seed last year with the same team because we have a good team, but we're not a seasoned team no more because we're too old.
Barber, you're going to pretend that first round series win over Houston that should have been done in 5 games, but got pushed to 7, where you had to play Steph 43 minutes in that final game. He pops his hammy as a result of that.
No,
you're going to pretend that was...
It's sports. You do what you have to do to win, and they
didn't win. They lost in the 2nd round. So you're celebrating for one round of it. That's where you're at now.
Got injured.
A Stephen Curry led team with Jimmy.
So tell me straight question.
In the 2nd round, and you're bragging. The Warriors
you're telling me simple question
locked.
in the first.
Barber. The Warriors had the 6th seed locked. Steve Kerr decides to DNP Kuminga the final 3 games of the regular season. They lose the 6th seed. That would have been an easy first round series. Side note, it would have been a cakewalk against the Lakers instead of that dogfight against the Rockets. And you're going to sit here and pretend that Steve Kerr did all the right things to get to that point. I'm sitting here saying they underachieve under him. And tonight was another example of that. Kerr played the best players. I don't know what precipitated it. I don't know why he decided to start Pat Spencer over Brandon Podziemski. And if he keeps doing it, you're not going to hear me bitch about him. You're not. What I complain about is a very consistent thing. He keeps playing the wrong players. And going back to the 2 timeline thing that you want to bring up, that you think Steve Kerr was put in this like just no-win situation, he was involved in that. He was a part of it. This is what drives me crazy with his hypocrisy. He literally came out in a speech yesterday and said there's a separation of powers. He said that repeatedly as a metaphorical reference to his position versus the front office and how he's not a GM. Because, side note, Barber, in case you forgot, he was the GM of the Phoenix Suns and failed at that job. So if he's brilliant, if he's this amazing basketball mind, why did he fail at that? Maybe because he isn't. But 2019, 2020, I'm going to read you a quote from Steve Kerr regarding James Wiseman. Quote, you just rarely see, and here, I'll even share my screen so you can actually see what I'm reading from here. You act like I haven't done my research on this, dude. Here, I'll read this verbatim. And these are Steve Kerr's actual words pertaining to James Wiseman. All right. Quote, you just rarely see an athlete like James, Kerr told The Ringer. You rarely see a guy 7 feet tall who moves like that with that kind of coordination and hands and character. He was a leader in the clubhouse. And then it was a matter of really making sure we watched all the other guys and evaluated everybody. And the other guys were impressive too. I mean, Ball, LaMelo Ball, and Anthony Edwards really stood out, obviously. I think the whole league had those 3 guys as the top 3. Everybody probably always says this, but I can tell you without hesitation, James was the top guy all along. And Joe Lacob telling Tim Kawakami in a podcast, quote, our entire front office and head coach wanted to draft James Wiseman. We were universal in that regard. Steve Kerr also actually went He called Wiseman his draft pick, spent hours studying film, not just of Wiseman's college games, but even a performance in high school at the 2019 Hoop Summit. Steve Kerr said he was convinced in June 2020 that Wiseman was, quote, his, unquote, draft pick, using verbiage normally reserved for a general manager, given a GM's responsibilities include making NBA draft selections. Steve Kerr held a Zoom meeting with Wiseman, followed that with an in-person workout in Miami. Steve Kerr was also directly involved with 8 or 9 other draft prospects, including Anthony Edwards. And what he said about Edwards is he doesn't have the work ethic that we need for this team. If he's just the coach, you don't do this shit. The separation of the separation. Oh, did I lose him? Where did Barber go? Did Barber hang up? Barber bailed? He's gone. Well, that was an interesting one. My point is, dude, come on. What are we doing here, dude? God damn. Julian, welcome to the show. I guess Barber just hung up. I don't know what happened to him.
That was a lot of content that was going on.
It's interesting.
I took some notes. So Barber's point to Steve Kerr is that we should not be critical of him because he changed his franchise around and he deserves that respect. But also he made a point where he says, because you countered, like anyone could have won with the stacked team that we had. And he said, oh, name a coach that has not had a stacked team and went on such a run. I can name you one. His name is Larry Brown. He went to 6 consecutive Eastern Conference Finals. When he won the 2004 NBA championship, he had one All-Star, which was Ben Wallace. Chauncey Billups was not an All-Star. Richard Hampton was not an All-Star. They didn't make an All-Star team until 2 years after that championship. So what that means is that Larry Brown turned Chauncey Billups, turned Richard Hamilton into Hall of Fame players and All-Stars. They were bouncing around the league and role players before then. So that's a coach that came in, completely changed the trajectory of that team and made about 3 to 4 players Hall of Famers and legends in that city. So there's an answer to that question. Also, another thing that we keep on thinking that Steve Kerr, I guess, like he did bring a new offense in, but according to his logic that you don't fire a coach and you don't do the same thing that all these teams are doing, Mark Jackson did not get fired because he was underperforming. He got fired because of some internal behind the scenes beef with the owner. I forgot what he got.
Let me put it to you maybe in a way that makes more sense. He got fired for the same reason that this team would never bring Michael Porter Jr. into the clubhouse.
For saying stupid things or
for saying controversial things that may go against the Bay Area culture. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
and so I know those ideas were not contrary to how the players felt.
Yeah,
right. Like Mark Jackson's a very religious person. I think he was a sermon, or he actually achieved I'm not well versed on religion. Forgive me. At least not all the million different denominations, but I think he was like a minister, or he achieved some title in church. And dude, like his players listened to his sermons and they loved him. People, it's so easy. It's crazy how easily people forgot that Mark Jackson was beloved by his team, but he didn't toe the company line, man. And it cost him. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. And they were on a trajectory that was going to lead to Western Conference Finals or championship, because they lost in 7 games to the Lob City Clippers that had established Hall of Famers and on that team that was the talk of the town. So the next season, for me, yes, Kerr brought something new, but you saw a progression like you see in all players when they get older from year to year, that they got better. Klay Thompson got better. Draymond Green got better. Curry got better. Iguodala, they brought in a lot of players that you just mentioned. So we don't know what would have happened if Mark Jackson stayed. Maybe it wouldn't have been that. But what I do know is that you could have plugged anyone in those championship years, such as what's the guy that won with the Lakers? What was that coach with the Lakers? I forgot. He was on Indiana Pacers.
Oh, Frank Vogel?
Yeah, Frank Vogel would have won
Yeah.
4 championships with this team, or at least 3. But according to the logic, is that Steve Kerr won a championship and he deserves a credit. Well, Frank Vogel deserves a credit for winning that championship with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo. That was all Frank Vogel. All right. And another point that
or it's like or Julian, if the Nuggets win the championship this year, which is very possible, are you going to credit a Rick Adelman's kid? What's his first name? Dave Adelman, whatever his first. Are you going to pretend he's the reason? Or are you going to recognize the fact that all he did was manage a stacked roster, and that's like 9/10 of the job? It's just not screwing it up.
Mm-hmm.
All he has to do is just give the right players minutes. Yeah. The favoritism, the routine minutes given to lesser players, like it's caught up to him. It was cute when you had unbelievable talent at the top. It worked out for you. Congrats. Ain't working out for you now when the chips aren't stacked, man. And what I never understand is why like people ignore the dichotomy, the paradigm here, where in terms of who's in charge. There's only one dude with all the power here in terms of the team and the minutes. It's Kerr. Who else are we going to talk about when the primary issue is the minutes? That is the prime issue, is who plays when. Tonight, the right dudes played. Oh, look, they won. Like Podziemski was relegated to the bench. Oh, look, they beat a hot Phoenix Suns team. And I know they were missing Devin Booker, but the Warriors were missing Stephen Curry and someone else. Who else were they missing? It was someone else. Tingus. Anyways, go ahead, Julian. I'm sorry. But yeah, Dave Adelman.
That's another point. That's another point Barbara was trying to push, is that Kerr makes all the great decisions, and this is why we win. And so the thing that we're saying is that it shouldn't take you 3/4 of a season to realize that Guy Santos is one of your better players.
Not to mention, Julian, every good idea that we've seen, whether it's bringing Andre Iguodala, and look, Barber, I'm surprised you didn't bring up the one thing that I would not have pushed back on, which is moving Andre Iguodala to the bench. If that was Steve Kerr's idea, I can't remember for certain if it was, that was a good idea. That was a good idea 12 effing years ago, right? Like 12 years ago. I mean, Julian, were you a kid then? Like, I don't even know where you were in life at that point, but 12 years is a long time, man. And yeah, moving Andre Iguodala to the bench, that worked out. But it wasn't his idea to start him against the Cavs when they were down 2-1. That was video coordinator Nick Wren. I can't even think of right now of other big decisions that were made over the years, but they don't come from him. They just routinely come from like other people giving him advice, at least since 2014.
Yeah, Steve. Well, no. Please interrupt me whenever you feel like you want to jump in with a point. So the thing that fans, which is yourself, Armando, Sharia, and others, that when we see on the floor, for example, let's not get too excited about this game because we've been here before, everybody. We've been here in December. In December, Stephen Curry was out. Pat Spencer played. Pods got a little bit of a back seat. And Pat Spencer went on his Linsanity run, kind of. And so the thing that we convey as fans to the coach is, if we see with our eyes, you have a better guard on the floor. There is not one single game, and anyone can look at it, where Pat Spencer and Pods both play equal minutes or over 25, where Podziemski has outplayed Pat Spencer. So we as fans ask, we are seeing a better point guard. It doesn't matter how much Podziemski is getting paid. It doesn't matter that he was a pick. If you want to win games, so your answer, Barber, is Steve Kerr. He's obtuse. He's stubborn. He's not trying to win the games with logic. He's trying to win the games his way. The reason why Pods is not traded, the reason why he keeps on taking him out of the lineup and then inserting him back in the lineup throughout the course of the last 2 years, is because he does not want to admit that he was wrong. And so tonight was not a vindication of Steve Kerr. It was actually an indictment, because he only did one decision, which was he didn't close the game with Green. All the other players were the ones that were healthy and available. Podziemski was so bad, and this is, I think people don't watch the games. The very first play that Pods came in, he got blown by, which led to a lob for the Suns and a dunk. Then Pods he bricks a three on the other end. He gets a rebound back. Then he takes a contested three with two people at him, bricks that. And then the next play down, he gets blocked taking a corner three. And then now all of a sudden, I'm not feeling too well. So these are things that we're seeing, like playing Gary Payton out of position. So tonight was what happens when Steve Kerr doesn't have an option to do what he wants to do. Like pop inside, I'm done with that point.
No, I'm listening at this point. You're on a roll.
And, well, another thing that he brought up,
you're doing good.
He said, we went 7 games against the Houston Rockets. Anyone with a brain understands that we only went 7 games because of Steve Kerr's obtuse or stubborn rotations. He overstrained our stars. Barber, do you know who the leading scorer was against the Rockets during the regular season that we won games with? Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga was the leading scorer for the Warriors against the Rockets. Are you telling me that you
don't forget the vindication from it was incredible, but folks, don't forget what he did with the Olympic team. Because someone in the chat brought up the speaker says, writes that Kurt sat Tyrese Halliburton in the Olympics. But bigger than that, I mean, Halliburton, that was a year before he led the Pacers to the finals, and you didn't get a lot of pushback from folks regarding that. Even though I don't agree with it. I think Halliburton has a place on an Olympic roster and should be playing. But the Jason Tatum DNPs, like that was so wild. Even Draymond Green was publicly coming out opposed to what Kerr was doing in regards to Jason Tatum. Kerr he rolls to the beat of his own drum. And again, it's just, I don't know like where the blame goes. Like it's just, it's endlessly enabled with that. Now look, Team USA, very important thing to note. If Kerr wanted to come back as the head coach of Team USA, they weren't going to let him. And that's probably where we're going in terms of this offseason with Kerr and the Warriors, where they're probably not, I don't know what's going to happen anymore. This has become like such an impossibly unpredictable situation. Like there's no way to be able to understand what's going to happen. And we lost Julian. Thank you for the great call. But like, dude, if Kerr was adamant, like I want to keep coaching Team USA, they were not going to bring him back. Like that, like there was nobody impressed with the job he did in the Olympics. They lucked the F out and they did not medal the previous summer. Very important to remember. The previous summer, the FIBA Cup that Team USA played in, and it wasn't the Olympic stacked roster, but it was still a solid roster. It was, and we got Julian back, and here we go. And I'm going to bring on Steve. You're going to be next, and Bloomer, and then Steph to go. That'll wrap it up tonight. But don't forget what he did with FIBA Cup, man, where he literally admonished Cam Johnson, Brandon Ingram. I think did Bam Adebayo get hurt? I can't remember if he was even on that team. Anthony Edwards was not even a starter initially. And maybe that's what Kuminga needed to do, and he never did, was do what Anthony Edwards did in that FIBA Cup, which is speak up. Anthony Edwards, after the first game, when he came off the bench, told Kerr, what the hell are you doing? I'm the best player on this team. And Kerr listened to him. And I don't know if that style of abrasive confrontational approach is what's needed to get what you want from Kerr. But Anthony Edwards did that, and that's what Steve Kerr needed to start him over a guy like Austin Reeves. But that's how Kerr rolls, man. Austin Reeves was his favorite guy in the FIBA Cup. Like, that says something, dude. There's so many red flags with this guy, and it's just – but then you also have Julian, the other side of it, which is what – and I get what Barber's saying. I do, which is why what I always try to tell people is this is not a show for the faint-hearted in terms of, like, Warriors cheerleader content. This is not the place to go to if all you want is rah-rah. The furthest thing from it. And the biggest reason why I don't do that, besides the fact that it's phony, it's inauthentic, it's not accurate. Every other show does that. You have your 2 sports talk radio stations. You have post-game shows on NBC Sports Bay Area. You have like guys like these Lightyear shows and shit like that. Like, they're all cheerleaders, man. They're all giving you the content that you apparently want, which is, yay, Warriors, no matter what. Yay, Steve Kerr's the best coach ever. I know they've underachieved the last 4 years, but he was the guy with 4 rings. He's my man, and he's speaking at conventions, and he's so politically like moral, even though, again, that's why I use the word phony, because it's one thing to hear what the guy says publicly. It's another to observe his actions behind the scenes. There's a very two-faced element to this, which is one of many reasons why I'm not a big fan. But the point is, I get that approach. All right, you're Warriors fans. I'm a Warriors fan. I love this team too. But I feel like like when it comes to fandom, there are 2 philosophies of play. One is you support your team no matter what, and if that's your philosophy, any owner of a professional franchise will worship you. That's what they want. They want fans like that. Jerry Reinsdorf, 30 years after the Jordan era, is still milking that shit. And then you have the other fans who have the philosophy of, wait, my team's doing what? Tingus Pingus? Are we out of our minds? And they actually speak up. And when they see what your team is doing is astray from success or from something that makes sense. And so they try to hold the team accountable. And if you didn't have those kinds of fans, you have the Chicago Bulls. You have the Dallas Cowboys. You have these miserable franchises that keep underachieving, that keep underperforming, but they have this ridiculous fan base that's just going to keep spending and keep showing up. So there's zero accountability, and there's never going to be real change. And I subscribe to the latter. To me, like, if something is amiss, I speak up, especially if it's like something obvious or if it's something that I know for certain is accurate based off my personal observation skills or trying to be logical, putting things together. And this shit stinks. What Steve Kerr's been doing for 4 years stinks. Even longer than that, but at least they were successful. I'm not going to speak out when you're winning shit, but 4 years. We're going on year 4 of disappointment. And that's fucking way too long, man. Am I making sense, Julian?
Yeah, and I want to bring up another point that you brought up before that you and Barbara were arguing about is, don't you think Steph Curry would have said something or Draymond Green would have said something? One, we have documented records of definitely Green and Butler, Jimmy Butler, saying something about the players that should be playing.
Jimmy especially,
but this is how it's about personality. And so, I'm a Warriors fan because of Steph Curry. I think his talents, you're never going to see it again. But he is not Kobe Bryant, and he's not LeBron James. And this way you know it. So how many times over the course of Stephen Curry's prime does he get upset at Steve Kerr when Steve Kerr takes him out the game? And so that's how you know that he does what the coach wants. Because I grew up watching Kobe Bryant. When Kobe Bryant was in control, the coach had no say of when to take him out the game. He'll look back at the coach and just shake his head no. Same thing with LeBron James. He'll look back at the coach and say, no, you're not taking me out. If they wanted to play 47 minutes, 48 minutes, they will. Their hot streak would never be cut off by their head coach. So that's how you know there's a difference between Steph Curry and what's happening behind the scenes. Because you can see, and also didn't Draymond Green walk off the court this year because of the argument that him and Steve Kerr was happening? So clearly Draymond wanted to do something that Steve Kerr was not going to do, and that pissed him off. And that's happened multiple times before. So Green, he acts tough on the court with other players, but it's been proven that he does not have the sway to get what he wants on this team. So we don't know what happened, but if they said, oh, we can win with this guy, if the head coach decides, there was no changing the head coach's mind. And so that's one point. And Joe Lacob left for a reason. And back to this game, energy is real. And one thing you didn't mention, Cy, so we were winning the game, and this has happened for half the season now. We're winning the game, Pods comes in, we lose the lead. He goes out, and then we look like one of the best three-point shooting team in the league because the ball is moving. We have the energy of the ball is real. When Pods comes back in the next game, in the second half, the Suns went on a 34-10 run. Do we all understand that? When Pods was taken out the game, we went on a 25-14 5 or 22-5 runs, something like
It was
that.
22-5 to close the game. Yeah.
Yeah, 22-5 to close the game. That's the energy of the ball. And Pat Spencer was having a great game. He didn't start turning the ball over. That's why watch the games, people. Understand the lineups that are out there. Pat Spencer did not start turning the ball over until Steve Kerr started playing Podziemski next to Pat Spencer.
Which, side note, Julian, I don't know if you agree with me on this or not, is one of the dumbest things imaginable. Those two players should never be on the court together. Pat Spencer and Brandon Podziemski should never be sharing the backcourt. You're absolutely right. And we see it all the damn time, man. How do people defend that? What is the defense of it? Or maybe the better question is, well, why do you let that go? Why does that not bother you? Because it irks the shit out of me, man. It doesn't make sense at all. That is not a backcourt that will lead to success. And it seems to be obvious to anyone watching except for Steve Kerr.
Yeah,
and then people want me to not bring it up, or people don't want me to call out Kerr for that. Why not? Like, it makes no sense. Guys making nearly $20 million to decide that? Podziemski and Pat Spencer on the floor together? Never mind, we were seeing lineups this year where multiple times Steph, GP2, Podziemski, Buddy Hield. I'm not making that up. Those four have been on the court together a lot. There's only one person making that decision, Steve Kerr. Why do you just ignore that? I don't get it. I don't. That's the part that
these decisions always, they don't start off the game. They come throughout the course of the game, and it loses the lead. And I've been on the show before, and I've said this. I brought up this example because I remember it so vividly because I was watching the game. I didn't understand what's going on. In 2023, we're playing the Lakers in the second round. I believe it's game 4. Steve Kerr. This is when Gary Payton was still good. Gary Payton was having one of the best games of his life. In that game, Steve Kerr decided not to play him in the fourth, and he went with Moody, who was a second-year player that wasn't established. He allowed Lonnie Walker, the fourth, that's not in the league anymore, to score 15 points in the fourth quarter and lose that game. This is what we fans are talking about. As we watch the games, we feel really good about what's happening on the court. And Steve Kerr does something to interrupt the momentum. He does something he's either never done before. I said on the show before recently, when Jimmy Butler went down, not his major injury when he was sick, he put Will Richard in. Will Richard played 31 minutes. They beat the Charlotte Hornets. The next few games after, Will Richard's minutes were eliminated and Podziemski became the starter. This is what we're talking about. He makes the decisions that cost this team higher seeds, wins and losses, and we've been consistently in the play-in and not a top 4 seed because of Steve Kerr. And we can point to a lot of games, just like Cy did earlier when they played the Nuggets. They were winning the game. Kuminga was having a good game, and then he doesn't play the second half. These things do not make sense. And when Kuminga said trade me, and then Steve Kerr had to eat his words. You know what he did? He went 6 for 6 against the Portland Trailblazers. Then he went 11 for 11 with 25 points and 9 rebounds against who? The Atlanta Hawks, who recently traded for him, because the Hawks saw that game and they said, if there's ever a chance to get that player, we're going to bring him over here. So that's it, Si. Bring your next person.
Beautiful. Have a good night, Julian. Thank you. Is Steve going to bring a different opinion? I got a complaint in the chat saying from Rock O'Clock saying echo chamber. So come on the show then. And you're welcomed. And yeah, hey, Steve, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. How you? Well, I know how you're doing.
I'm good. And honestly, man, I started the show tonight trying to make a point that when Podziemski doesn't play, good things are happening. But then a few people got sensitive about that. They don't like hearing that. They think that, oh, even in a win, you're criticizing Kerr. And it's like, well, I'm criticizing him because he went away from the strategy he's used all year for the last 2-3 years, which is giving Podziemski heavy minutes. It doesn't work. He didn't give him heavy minutes tonight. Huge surprise. They win. The players that I keep mentioning on the show that should play, including Guy Santos and DeAnthony Melton, they played. They did spectacular. Pat Spencer started. That was spectacular. all I'm trying to say is what we saw tonight is a good recipe, but you have a handful of people triggered because I'm not bowing to the almighty Steve Kerr, and here we are. So, Steve, what is your take on the whole matter? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I've been on the show a couple of times.
Yeah.
I love your show.
Thank you.
A huge fan.
Thank you, brother.
And I don't know where I want to start because I don't really want to rehash how terrible, our Steve Kerr has botched this 2 timeline thing, because I was just thinking we just got Kristaps Porzingis. He's going to give us 15 and maybe 7. Wasn't James Wiseman giving us 13 and 7, 13 and 6,
12 and 6,
10 and 7,
12 and 6? Yeah, his rookie year. Yeah,
12 and 6. That's exactly what we're about to get from Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know if anybody's expecting huge things from him. Even when he was in Boston, 18, 17. So I don't know how much that's going to move the needle.
He averages 17 and change this year currently, yeah.
Yeah. I've been saying that Pod shouldn't have been playing. I thought he stole minutes from both Moody and JK last year. I was super vocal about that. When he started coming off the bench, even this year, that's where he belongs. 17 minutes, 22 minutes a game. Maybe playing off ball because he definitely doesn't need to be.
That's too much for me, Steve. I like 10 at the most. I don't understand why we can't. Steve, let me ask you this: why do you think he even needs minutes? Why does anybody think Podziemski is a necessity? What has convinced anyone of that?
I'll be super honest because I don't like him at all. But when he was coming off the bench and the energy that he provided off the bench, maybe getting you 2 to 3 shots a game, and the way that he was flowing with Melton and Moody, and I can't remember who else that they had in the second unit when he was coming off the bench. That's when they were scoring all of those points. If you really think about it, they were averaging 40, 50 points off the bench, and it was incredible. I would not be starting him, definitely not over Milton, and God knows not absolutely over Will. Are you out of your mind? I can't even believe that they've been starting him.
Do you remember the Corey Joseph minutes?
My God, are you kidding me?
They literally had to trade him because Kerr couldn't resist playing him. That is some crazy shit, and yet that's truth. And people just want to ignore that. I can't ignore that. I'm sorry, I can't, man. It's too nutty. If Kerr was not the head coach, I could ignore it, but he's the head coach still. How can you ignore it? I'm looking at Corey Joseph's stats right now, just because again, I guess I love torturing myself. In the 2023-24 season, played 26 games, was averaging 11.4 minutes per game. And why was he even playing 11.4 minutes per game? I don't get. Anyways, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay, man. And even in the game tonight, I loved the way Guy Santos was playing defense. I'm going to be honest with that. I did not know he could move his feet like that. Somebody must have put something in his ear because he was moving. He was guarding Dylan Brooks very well.
Who's this again, Pat?
Say it again?
Which player? I'm sorry, Guy or Pat?
Oh, no, Guy Santos.
Dude, he's
gooey.
Awesome.
Oh my God,
man.
I love him. Even starting, he's so much energy off the bench. You were saying a couple of shows ago that he can handle the ball. We saw some of that tonight, right? It was a really good game by Gooey. And I like the fact that he messed up by putting in pause. We didn't see Quentin post a whole lot, which I was really happy to see that.
5 minutes.
Al played his ass off. I totally understand what you're saying. I've been screaming this forever. If this guy would get the hell up out of his way, and I'm talking about Steve Kerr, we probably would be in the 6th or the 5th seed. I can easily guarantee you that even before Jimmy got hurt. And hell, even now looking at the way this team played tonight, getting Kristaps Porzingis Saturday, Monday, or whenever to give us those 17 points if he can do that. Man, if he gets the hell out of the way, stop starting pods, play Will way more. Will needs to play. Okay, I don't know if he
does.
Will needs to play.
And again, tonight, Guy Santos played 35 minutes, 56 seconds.
Yes.
And guess what? The world didn't end. Guess what? They actually won the game. This is, I guess the reason why I came on tonight fired up is because Steve Kerr actually just did for once what I imagine a competent coach doing, which is even excuse me, I'm choking up here. Moses Moody, 30 minutes, 54 seconds. Love it. And again, even though he didn't put up the points, it wasn't a negative because he still plays D and he's got that 7'1" wingspan. Brandon Pajemski has a 6'4" wingspan or a 6'5" wingspan. It's not the physical traits just aren't there for Pajemski. Guy Santos, 35 minutes, 56 seconds. Pat Spencer, 32 minutes, 24 seconds. Will Richard, 27 minutes, 17 seconds. Even Big Al went over his 25-minute threshold, 27 minutes, 56 seconds. D'Anthony Melton right up to the minute threshold, 24 minutes, 43 seconds. He's on a 25-minute restriction still. Point is, tonight we saw the best players get minutes, and the results spoke for themselves, man. And again, you're never going to hear me criticize Steve Kerr if this happens regularly. I criticize him when he's given Pajemski 30 minutes. Pajemski's second on the team in minutes, man. And folks want to know, why do you keep bringing those two up? Why do you always mention Steve Kerr? Because he's the head coach of the team. He has all the power. He's the one who decides the minutes. Why do you always bring up Brandon Pajemski? Because he's second on the team in minutes behind Stephen Curry. Make that make sense. And so when you get that many minutes, you're going to be discussed, especially when you're routinely losing while playing that many minutes. I don't know why that's so complicated. Look, a lot of people are very much in their feelings about the Steve Kerr, Brandon Pajemski thing, because logically, it makes no damn sense. Like, logically, there is no rationale for what Steve Kerr has been doing the last 3-4 years. If you're up in your feelings about it, meaning like you love the Warriors and you feel like you have to be loyal to Steve Kerr and every decision he makes, I get it. But I never roll like that, man. That is not how I think. It's not how my brain operates. And I'm sorry if that kind of, rubs against you in terms of how you feel. But that's just, I like being sensible, man. And I just don't think Steve Kerr has been sensible for like 4 years. It's crazy. Am I making sense, Steve?
No, you absolutely nailed it. I told you, I've been on here before, and I think I was one of the first Pods haters. Are you serious? How was this guy playing 28 minutes? I didn't want to dump on Pods, but man, I think I started that. I was like, man, he constantly gets blown by. The only thing he was taking was charges and this plus minus. Now, you said earlier, what the hell does that mean if you're doing it for the overall team? It doesn't make any sense that you're even including that if they lost the game. Oh my God, he had a 17 plus minus, but we lost by 20. How did he help us?
I don't know, but Dwayne Bidiani in our chat saying, have guests on who know hoops properly. Rick Barry will be back on soon. He's on the show usually every other week. Ramona Shelburne, I'm working on getting her during the All-Star break. So that's 2 names. Mark Jones is long overdue. Mark, if you're listening, respond to me. I texted you yesterday. I know it was a very late night, but he's going to come on the show. We try to do that. And there is that me? Are you okay, Steve? Can you see me?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay,
I can see you.
But the Guy Santos minutes, 35 minutes 56 seconds tonight, like that should be every night. Like that should be there are certain players on this team who just should be getting a big chunk of the minutes. Certain years, strength in numbers, an adage I supported most years. Not this year. This year, your team is 10 deep. You don't go 14 deep. This team is just not that deep. But if you go 10, you're onto something. And tonight was a perfect example of that. I'm looking forward to seeing Malachi Leons, dude. Are you excited about him at all?
Yeah, he actually looks pretty good as well. He's lean. He moves his feet really well. He can shoot the lights out of the ball. I mean, he hasn't been shooting since he's played a couple of games, but I watch the G League too sometimes. He's been shooting the heck out of the ball. So, I kind of like him. And he's supposed to be like known for his defense. I don't know when we would be able to get any minutes for him, especially since, everybody doesn't understand. Tonight was a huge, huge win. Phoenix is a good team, really good team. I live in Arizona, so I watched them constantly. It was a good win. And again, if Steve Kerr can stay out of his way, maybe they can start winning games by more points so we can see Leon and maybe even LJ Cryer. I'm really excited to see him.
I know he's been dealing with a hamstring injury. I'm still working on getting him on the show. Him and his agent and I, I'm sorry, have been going back and forth. Speaking of another athlete to hopefully bring on soon. The best ever in the chat brings up something we have not touched on yet. And I'm glad he reminded me, saying that Pajemski was definitely pouting out there. And he brings up a moment in this game, which I noticed too. And I don't know if you saw it, Steve. It was, I think it was in the third or fourth quarter. It might've been the fourth. Steve Kerr calls a timeout because Pajemski gets brought in and right away the Suns start pouring it on. That was what happened tonight. Pajemski would come in the game. Phoenix would go on a run. Kerr would call a timeout. pull Pajemski. The Warriors would claw back. Kerr would bring Pajemski back in. Suns going to run again. That literally was the pattern. That literally was the story of the night. And during one of those timeouts, like, I don't know what Pajemski was pouting about, but he was bitching to Kerr. And Kerr was being very attentive, like listening to almost like a paternal, playing the paternal role there. And I couldn't tell if Pajemski was bitching about the refs or if he was bitching about the fact that his minutes were reduced tonight. I have no idea, but I did notice that too. Did you see it?
No, I did not see that. He'd have some nerve to be complaining.
I don't
They
know what
lost
it was
the Philly
about,
game.
but yeah.
They lost the Philly game the same way. They were down 9. He puts Pajemski back in there. They're up 20. I turned the game off and started listening to you.
And Barber, let's bring you back on another show. You're always welcome on the program. Even though I hate the fact that you made me look like an asshole. I don't like getting riled up like that. But you got riled up too. That was a 2-way street. You also got riled. But I hate doing that. Anyways, but I wanted to see if there's any sound. We haven't even played any press conference sounders. And even though the NBA is punitive and loves flagging my shit, which is just insanely annoying, I'm not going to stop playing sound. I mean, that's part of the show. And again, I'm going to fight them on all of it. And so far, they're not extending the grief. But hold on a second. God damn it. I'm trying to find some press conference clips, anything from the Warriors from one link. The answer is no. Let's see if there's anything on the socials. Have you had a chance to see any of the post-game coverage? Like, did you see any Warriors players? Or
Unfortunately not, because I was watching on Peacock, and they do their own thing.
Prime, right?
Yeah, Prime. I'm sorry, on Prime, and they do their own thing.
Oh, by the way, the Warriors tonight, Julian Bashir mentioned that he was bringing up all those runs, and I'm seeing a tweet right now from 30 Problems writing that the Warriors, when the last time they benched Pajemski, they went on a 27-5 run to win the game. I do not understand like why people are arguing about Pajemski. I don't understand. Like, I just don't get it. Like, what is it about him? By the way, let's listen to Draymond Green real quickly here, because he talked about Guy Santos's column screen. Do you mind sticking around for this real fast?
Yeah, absolutely.
Being a part of this. All right. So here's Draymond, and this was him immediately following this game. And again, interesting to note that Draymond did not close the game, and seemed to be okay with it. He didn't look exactly exalted by it, but he accepted it. And here he is talking about the game. And you see that screen right there where it shows his 5 points, 5 boards, 1 assist. I don't think I mentioned his stat line tonight. He played 24 minutes, 7 seconds, had 3 field goal attempts. They were all 3-pointers, was 1 of 3 from deep, added 2 free throws. So that's where the 5 points came from. Added 5 boards, added 1 assist. Only had 1 turnover, which by Draymond Green standards are really good. And here he is after the game giving praise to his teammate, Guy Santos.
Guy Santos' path on the floor also plays an offensive rebounds. We locked in on that. He's become one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA, especially when a guy crashing from the wing, get an offensive rebound. And in turn, once you've done that, then you earn the minutes and you can show everything else that you're able to do. And that's where he is. It's like he's now stamped himself as, I guarantee you on every scouting report in the NBA, they're talking about him crashing. But that's what got him on the floor. Now you're able to see what he can do with the ball, how he can shoot the ball, how he can finish around the rim. Defensively, just hard-nosed Brazilian. It's beautiful to watch. I'm such a fan of his growth. 36 minutes tonight. And without him, we stand no chance of winning this game.
Agreed.
I'm going to continue to enjoy watching his growth and him carry us to wins. I love it.
Beautiful. Now, granted, Dre was also saying a million nice things about Kuminga once upon a time, but hey, what are we doing here? Barber, by the way, in the chat saying that all these guys who talk shit about Kerr have the same thing to say about somebody else. Does that apply to like everybody though? Barbara, are you saying that some people just never talk shit and they're angels? I mean, I thought you were talking shit about me, weren't you? I don't appreciate hypocrisy. Come on now. Steve, any final thoughts, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say you could say the same thing about Kyle Shanahan, but that's a different story.
What are your thoughts on Kyle, real quick?
He plays Christian McCaffrey too much.
But because a lot of people, and I'm not going to opine on this because I have no idea. I don't watch the show, but a lot of people like to comp this program with Grant Cohen's, right? Because Grant is apparently like just doesn't like Kyle Shanahan, and I'm not saying like I don't like Steve Kerr personally. I just don't like the job he's doing. I can care less who he is as a person. But
absolutely.
And I don't know how if it's personal with Grant, but what's your take on that? Like. Because to me, that's a very complicated situation. I guess so is Steve Kerr and the Warriors. But do you want Kyle to stay, or do you agree with Grant?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I used to live in the Bay Area. Huge 49er fan, huge Warriors fan, absolutely nut job Giants fan. We're winning. Even this year, we just got rid of every single great player on defense. Got rid of all of them. And then the guys who were starting to step up started getting hurt on defense. And we still made it to the second round of the playoffs. I'm going to get rid of him for what? Yeah, he overuses Christian McCaffrey. And maybe he should have played some of the younger receivers, at least in the middle, to see what they had. Next year, this team is going to retool, get a wide receiver, maybe a left guard. The Niners are going to be solid. No way in the world I would trade Shanahan. He's doing as good a job as he possibly can with what he has.
And the one blemish and sorry, we're talking Niners here. We'll go back to Warriors, but the one huge blemish on Shanahan's mark, and it's hard to ignore, is that crazy stat where he's like something like 1 in 38 or whatever when they're trailing by 7 or more entering the fourth quarter. Do I have that right?
Yeah, it's something like that. And the game that they won, I think, was this year. So, that is a huge blemish. It's a huge blemish.
Okay,
but even with that, they're still winning. We can guarantee, just like with the Warriors up until recently, they're going to make the playoffs, and all you need is a chance when you get in there. So he's doing a decent job. He's doing a decent job, and we're going to see what they do next year when everybody gets healthy.
And he's clearly like damn good at it. I mean, clearly like Kyle Shanahan, it's just unfortunate. Like to me, and this is my last Niners take, and we're done.
Yeah.
When it comes to football, like, I don't think it's just there's so much incompetency in this world, and especially the people who run organizations. Case in point, the 49ers. I will forever be resentful to Denise DeBartolo York for stealing that team from her brother. Shame on you. I'm forever bitter at that because the team has never been the same since. But to me, in football, it isn't complicated, man. QB1 is easily the most important position. It's like represents 95% of the 100% budget of priority, meaning like that's what you should focus on clearly above all else, anything else. And for whatever reason, Steve Young has been out of the game since 1999, and we're in 2026, and we're still waiting for the next franchise QB. Like, why? It took the Patriots like 3 years to get their next guy, and they're right back in the Super Bowl. Like, huge surprise. You solved QB1. Why? What is going on there, man? Like, any thoughts on that?
I guess it was just unlucky. But Brock is actually really good. Again, I don't know. Well, you know what I do know? I think we'll probably win the Super Bowl in the next year or two. I'm super confident about that. I'm super confident. Maybe not next year, but the year after that, for sure. They got a good thing going as far as on that side of the bay. Calling the Santa Clara Niners.
And so even though Jimmy G led the Niners to the Super Bowl, and even though everybody who's like an analyst on TV and otherwise says that this Kyle Shanahan system is so strong, you just plug in a QB and they're going to look good. You're sold on Brock Purdy, even though he had that atrocious 2-game stretch against the Seahawks. You're still sold on him.
Wait a minute. The Seahawks are really, really good. They're really, really good. Yeah, they are. They're really, really good. Their defense is really, really good. Whatever you get out of Sam Darnold is just like, I lost because of that. But the defense is really, really good. So you can't really judge Brock on those two particular games because those are really tough teams. And again, the wide receivers are garbage. They're trash. And I'm sorry that I have to say that. They
You're
weren't
right.
getting any separation.
You're right.
Ricky Pearsall is he looks amazing when he can play, but
he
that's
can't
when
play
he can
much.
play.
He's not
That's
very-
when he can play. That's why I said maybe not next year, but the year after that, I can probably guarantee they'll be in at least the NFC Championship game. So mark my words.
Wow, look at you. All right. Words marked. Beautiful. Steve, thank you so much for coming on, man. Any final thoughts? Anything we forgot to?
Yeah, just really quickly. I just wanted to touch on what Draymond was saying about our boy Gui.
Yes.
Oh, he did play amazing tonight, and he does need to get those minutes. And Draymond Green needs to get those minutes. 24 minutes. Let him do what he needs to do. And if he's fresh in the fourth quarter, maybe then let him close, because he's not the same Draymond Green, not even from last year.
Draymond's cooked, huh?
Yeah, he's cooked. He looked decent in spots tonight, but you can tell when he rests, he'll be better for the team. But yeah, he's cooked.
He has his moments still, and again, I'm not going to pretend that those two Spurs games that the Warriors won, Steph was the hero undoubtedly, 49 points, 46 points, but I am not ignoring what Draymond did defensively on Victor Wembanyama. He's like literally looking at him like he's a giraffe and wanting to fight him still. The whole thing's absurd, but he held his own, man. So but I know Draymond prefers playing the 4, but I just don't see what the value is anymore if he's not your small ball 5, right?
And even that now it's very sparingly, because I think Porzingis can come in and play the 2 big lineup like they did with Post and Al. Yeah. With both of those 2 guys in there, with Porzingis making it consistently. Like I said, I don't think they can win the championship, but they got a good chance to make it at least exciting to watch basketball, maybe until the middle of May. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. G4M asked a great question before you go, Steve, and then we'll bring on Bloomer, and then if Chardal's out there somewhere, we'll close with him. And the scoreboard, we'll do a couple of emails as well. G4M, though, poses a great question, which is, did Kerr develop Gui? And my answer to that is TBD, to be determined. Same with Will Richard. Like, tonight was great. And again, I'm not sitting here saying like my judgment on Kerr or anybody is like solidified in stone. I still stand by what I say, what I've pledged, which is get a 5th ring. And I got a tattoo of Steve Kerr on my body, and I've never had a tattoo, which is kind of crazy. And it's not because I'm opposed to him. I just have never found the right art, and I'm long overdue to get one of my former dog on my shoulder right here. I'm getting a Steve Kerr tattoo. I will do that, and I've promised repeatedly, get that 5th ring. I'm never criticizing him again. He's good in my book forever. Like it's not like I'm just sitting here like stubbornly done with him, saying like no matter what, like he's out of my good graces. So it's a TBD for me, man. Like if this season ends with suddenly like guys like Will Richard and Guy Santos being consistently good, and they make a little noise in the postseason, who knows? Who knows? I'm not closing the door on anything, but what do you think? What's your answer to that?
We just have to wait and see. The health of Porzingis is everything, and then how. Again, you don't have nothing to worry about the tattoo this year, but let's see what Jimmy looks like next year. And I don't know, hold our breath, which I also wouldn't do, because as long as Pods is on the team, he's going to get his 30 minutes.
Yeah, good call, man. All right, Steve, thank you. Have a great, hope all's well in your world. I forgot, where do you join us from usually? You're in the Bay, right?
No, I'm in Arizona.
Shit, my bad. We're in Arizona.
Chandler, Arizona.
Did they catch? I don't know if you're following this story.
No.
Samantha Guthrie. Did they find her mom yet?
No, as far as I know,
that?
but
Okay,
I haven't watched anything since this afternoon. They still have not found her.
That's a crazy story, dude.
It is a crazy story.
Yeah. So apparently that the ransom letter that was sent to the media, that was not associated with the actual missing persons case, correct? Are you following that closely?
No, I haven't even heard that yet. I just heard that they had the ransom letter, and the daughter and the and I guess her family was with her when she was making a plea to please return her mom. But I have not heard that they had a ransom note, so I'm not sure. And again, that was like at 12:30 this afternoon, and I was at work.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, dude.
It is.
Resolved. Hey, I mean, when we have kidnappings in our country, that's that's some third world shit, dude. Like I don't enjoy or appreciate seeing that.
Yeah.
Hope it gets resolved, man. That's if it's a kidnapping. I mean, I don't think we really know what's going on, but the speaker says, by the way, he's writing, what if Steph goes nuclear and carries Kerr to a ring? I will shut up. The entire reason that I care so much is because of Steph. Like, legacies matter, and what Steph has accomplished to this point in his career is so absurdly, legendarily awesome. If those are real words, in the sense that Steph should be on the Mount Rushmore of all-time greats, and that's the difference between a fourth and a fifth title. If you don't agree with me, take a look at Tim Duncan and ask yourself: is he considered the greatest power forward ever? If he has 4 instead of 5, maybe, but it's a hell of a big debate. Whereas now, no one's debating you on that. Kobe Bryant. Do you really think if it was 4 instead of 5, he'd be top 10 all time? Magic Johnson. Do you think if it was 4 instead of 5, he would still be considered the greatest point guard ever? That the difference between 4 and 5 is monumental. And I'm sorry, man. Like, from my perspective, studying this team and what they've been doing and how talented they've been, and looking at the landscape of the NBA, the fact that this team has been stuck on 4 is negligence to me, man. Like, it's gross negligence, and it's such a disservice to Stephen Curry, and it's a huge reason why I am so critical of Steve Kerr, is because I feel like his decisions have been hurting more than helping this team. The front office is giving him the tools, and for whatever reason, he looks at the tools and goes, "Yeah, I know I got a big chunk of wood right here, and you gave me a saw, but I'm going to use this hammer just because I used this hammer once and it worked on this small stick, and I think it's going to work on this piece of wood." And anyone with common sense is looking at his rotational decisions, going like, what are you doing? Like, where's the sense in all this? He doesn't see it clearly because he keeps doing it. And here we are. And again, man, when you're in a position of power, someone needs to hold truth to power, and no one else in this media scene does it. I don't like being the only one doing it, but here I am. And anyways, win a fifth, I'll shut up. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hey, thank you for having me. You guys have a good night.
You too, brother. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Bloomer. He's got the happy image tonight. But in case you folks aren't familiar with Bloomer vibes, when the Warriors lose and he comes on the show, his profile pic is dark. It's got like an Edgar Allan Poe theme to it. When the Warriors win, now it's like the happy, beautiful sunset, rainbow colors. So Bloomer, you're happy tonight. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, Cy.
Just all right?
Yeah.
Why?
No, I'm good. This game tonight really was a really confusing mixed bag game. Like, we were doing good, like keeping in touch with the Suns in the beginning. And then obviously you and everyone else previously before I came on was just mentioning the elephant in the room, obviously Sideshow Bob, right? Because he was just I started calling him that
mean, by the way. Really, like, I don't try to intentionally be mean, but I try to be fun. I mean, comedy is a fine line, right? Like, is it mean? Is it crossing a line calling him Sideshow Bob? In your opinion?
At this point in his career, he deserves it.
And at least it's a diss that has a backhanded compliment in there, meaning like Sideshow Bob had a nice thick ass head of hair, so you could have a hell of a lot worse nickname to be called, right?
I mean, obviously, when I first saw him, I thought he was like Jack Harlow, but we don't call him Jack Harlow, right? Like, anyways, but yeah, he really was like the de facto in terms of not helping. Honestly, like, how is people gonna say Spencer is not better than Pods? The dude dropped 20 points and got 2 steals, and he had 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And then what did Pods do tonight besides cause havoc?
He did nothing, man.
I don't get that. Like, and then also, like, I'm hearing stuff about like if Pods was like because now with all this changes and stuff with all the trades and like when Porzingis comes, like, I don't even know. Like, my head is still trying to understand that JK and Buddy are gone. Like, I'm still trying to get over that. That
happened yesterday. It's only been 24 hours. It is pretty wild, man.
Like I even saw a post where it showed Buddy going to the. I don't know if you saw it. He was in the San Francisco airport, and someone was recording him, and it's like, "Hey, Buddy," and then like he looked all down and depressed, and I'm like, "Whoa!" Like, got me
Really? I
hitting
didn't
the
know. I
heart.
missed that entirely, man. No,
It got me hitting in the heartstrings a little bit. Like I didn't look. Had Buddy did Buddy have his moments when he was with the Warriors? Yes. Obviously, you brought up Game 7 against the Rockets. Like that dude, we'll never forget those moments.
that's huge.
But
It was huge. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, I really think Pods should have been the first one to at least go instead of Buddy. Like Buddy at least provided some sort of ability to keep himself on the floor that was somewhat relevant, even if he was inconsistent. But you have
Bloomer,
yeah.
I real quick. Sorry, I hope I'm not interrupting entirely. And forgive
No,
me
you're
for
good, you're
interrupting
good.
1 second. But I when I see good things in the chat, I don't want to let it go. And some people are bringing up with the Pajemski rhetoric his trade value, and that's a great point in terms of understanding like how good or bad a player is. And obviously, like there's nuance involved. Like for example, Kuminga. People love to say, "Oh, he's a shitty player because no one wants him." But it's like, look, there's literally no team last year outside of the Brooklyn Nets had cap space. He was one of 4 restricted free agents, just lurking all summer with no contract. Side note, what's his name? Cam Thomas of the Brooklyn Nets is an unrestricted free agent. They just cut him loose. Kind of crazy. I'm very curious to know what happens there. I can promise you the Warriors will not have any interest in that. If they did, Kuminga would never have gone anywhere in the first place. But it's going back to Brandon Pajemski here. Like if the Warriors decided, okay, we want to trade him, is anybody offering anything? Like, is he even getting a second round pick? Like I had conjured up an image in my mind that you could have traded him to the Kings for Keon Ellis, and boy was I wrong, because Keon Ellis had a lot of value out there. The Cavaliers really wanted him, and I don't think Brandon Pajemski would be enough. I don't think he moves the needle for anybody.
I honestly thinking was obviously it was also kind of a far stretch. I was thinking that too, the Keon Ellis King trade, but also like it because it was kind of like a theory or theoretical like trade scenario in my head. I was kind of thinking send Pods to Milwaukee for Rollins.
But Milwaukee would never do that.
I mean, but in theory, it would make sense, right? Because he's a Milwaukee kid, and then the Warriors get back a legit, backup PG. Because Rollins actually proved himself. Because I think he learned from I think it was like Rajon Rondo or something like that. Or
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wouldn't work out because of what you said. Like they wouldn't do it. But so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pods is not really that kind of guy that's like deserving of those kind of minutes. Like you I think a previous caller, not like the one before me, but I think a previous one also, besides that, something about like him wanting more like 10 plus minutes. I'm like, that guy should barely get any time on the floor. This guy is not, he's not him. Like I really thought, I was questioning, like when we first drafted this guy, I'm like, okay, let me check out his high, because what I usually like to do when Warriors draft people in the draft class is like I like to look at their. I think everyone does. They look at the highlights. So you look up Santa Clara highlights, and then you look at it. I also noticed he played for Illinois, so I look at his Illinois highlights, and I'm like, why did he go from that school to this school? Because
we talked about that when Connor Letourneau, a former Warriors beat reporter, was on the show a few weeks back. We talked at great length about that because Connor wrote a whole feature on it, and the fact that, the head coach at his first school did not value him like at all. And that's why Pajemski left. And he found a place in Santa Clara where he actually, was valued. But I forgot. And that coach at Illinois is someone reputable. It's someone with some notoriety and has earned respect in the coaching ranks. I forgot his name. Bruce something, I think.
I forgot his name, but yeah.
Yeah. Me too,
and then also like when they drafted Kuminga, okay, no college experience, no like high school basketball experience. He played for the NBA G League Ignite. Kid came from a what was it, like a Dominican Republic of Congo, right? I think that's what it was for him.
Correct. Yeah.
But I can tell right away when they drafted him. I had a weird feeling just because I had, like, I'm not saying I knew it and I'm giving myself a pat on the back. I had a strange feeling like when Warriors drafted him, I feel like, oh, Kurt, I feel like he's not really gonna play this guy, not really. And then like it turned out to be true. I'm like, dude, you had this kid for months just withering away on the bench, and then you give this Hobbit looking, he literally looks like a Hobbit now with his hair, Sideshow Bob looking guy, even on 30 plus minutes, 27, like anything above, starter level at this point, like star caliber minutes, and then he's not producing what you want for like to get wins. And then you got this athletic freak on the bench that can give you that. I'm like, what is going on here? And then when I heard recently about the whole thing, like what I brought up earlier, like J.K. Buddy, Hawks get an injury-prone Latvian guy in Kristaps Porzingis. If this was like New York Knicks Porzingis, or even Wizards Porzingis, okay, that's sensible, but it's not something to be like bragging about. Like,
I wish I could play the Tingus Pingus on this show, but there's so many F-bombs in it. I got to make an edited version before I could play it on the show, just for the podcast audience, or particularly for the podcast audience, because I always think about someone listening to a podcast in their car and they got a kid sitting next to them, and you got a Tingus. Who the F is this mother effing Tingus Pingus son of a effing? So I got to clean it up. I got to get some beeps in there, but
anyway, also, Cyrus,
it's funny. Google it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Also, Cyrus, real quick, I just wanted to touch up on something. If you didn't realize, or maybe you did, Mark Spears, I think, made a recent report saying that the Warriors are actually not done in making moves. I think you may have noted. Have you heard that, or have you never heard that?
I saw. Well, he didn't say it definitively. He said they might not be.
Okay.
And look, maybe it comes in the form of the buyout market. If they do sign Pat Spencer, that's their 15th roster spot. So I don't know if they would have the flexibility to even make a move, but who knows? I don't know what the buyout market's going to look like. I don't know if the Warriors would be competitive in terms of being able to recruit players. That's one of the biggest. Again, I'm fascinated to know Joe Lacob's mentality in terms of what he thinks the Warriors are, because I get a strong sense of delusion from him in terms of like the reputation part of it. Like in Joe Lacob's mind, I don't know for certain. I really wish he would talk to the media instead of this silent treatment, which has been going on for like 6 months. He has been hiding. Like you see him at courtside, but that's it. He has not been answering questions. And again, I don't know if like in his head and feels like him and Steve Kerr both jive to this same, to the same vibe, which is that we're the Warriors. We are the dynasty. Like you're lucky to play for us. Like we can get anybody. It's like, dude,
we're light years. We're light years.
Yeah, we're light years. Exactly. And I don't, was Giannis not the humble pie you needed? Like he wanted nothing to do with you. Like he had no interest. Like it was a hang up immediately. Like just the no, thank you.
I mean,
and the Warriors usually had the best offer. So how does that not, register? I don't know.
Yeah, some people actually said Giannis was like trolling on social media, saying like, oh, he just wanted to stir up just like rumors so that things can get spicy or something like that over like when the trade deadline was like closing in, and then like at the last second he's like, no, I'm okay, I'll just remain with the Bucks, and then with like Joe Lacob was like, okay, now you made me put like the desperation move. Let's just trade JK and Buddy and let's send him to the Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis, even though we know we don't know when he's gonna play. Maybe Saturday or something like that. I'm like, wow, that was such a desperation move if I ever saw one. Like literally, like I'm serious. Like I really think we could have gotten something good if we really wanted to trade JK like seriously, not just for desperation. Because this was a desperation move. Do you believe people that side?
Sorry about that. Well, say again. I'm sorry. Shardal just sent me the link to the Buddy Healed. He emailed me a link to Buddy. And but I forgot to mute myself. I apologize. Do you want to see that real quick, or did you have a question? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just wanted to say that did you thought that the JK and Buddy sign or trade to Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis was a serious trade, or was it a desperation?
Oh, desperation, 1,000%. I mean, you're getting back a guy who's played 17 games, who is he's on an expiring deal. So I like it reeks of just a move to save money. And, on paper, like it's obvious that the Warriors are looking for a clean slate in 2027.
Yeah,
right. Like that's been in multiple reports that the end game here is to basically start fresh in 2027. But what I never see or hear in terms of follow-ups to that is for what? Why? Like, do you seriously have pipe dreams that Nikola Jokic is going to sign with you? Or there's like two or three other pretty big name free agents that are coming out then. But what makes you think they're going to choose the Warriors? Like there's other teams also planning for 2027. The Warriors aren't the only ones. Like, so what in your mind makes you believe we're going to be the spot they all want to come to? It's like that's the part where I'm wondering if there's a significant a delusion there from the front office, because why else have this plan to have a clean slate at the start of 2027? Like, what's the point of that?
I mean, like, honestly, it's really confusing in general, because they had a chance to really, strike some gold like previously, but they just waited so long and just told so much lies about like, oh, we're gonna do this and promise that, everything's gonna be okay. Like they covering up a lot of things, just trying to please those, like you said, like Steve Kerr apologists. I'm not even gonna say Joe Lacob apologists at this point, because I don't even know to trust that guy anymore. I
really got turned off by this.
Yeah, even MPJ, Michael Dunleavy Jr. Mike Dunleavy Jr. Like, I don't even know if I should, like, he's still relatively new in the GM game. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you kind of have a chance to revive yourself a little bit, but just don't go the same Joe Lacob and Steve Kerr path where you're going to promise things and not actually lead up to it in a legit way, Because, I mean, he said some things like, oh, we're going to keep Jordan Poole for this many times. He's going to stay with the Warriors. Oh, hey, Chris Paul, welcome.
Are people wanting to get in fights in the chat? Come on, let's not start.
By the way, so you can play that Chardol. What was it? Email that you were talking about. You can go ahead and play it.
Oh well, it was just this clip right here.
Oh, hey, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine, man. You're fine. Okay, this was Chardol sent me this. This was apparently Buddy Hield. And forgive me, by the way, if I'm forced to trim this from the show later, because YouTube might flag me here. Oh God damn it! Hold on. Gotta share my screen again. Sorry. So this is but this was apparently is Buddy Hield.
Yeah. This
hold on. Okay, there we go. This is Buddy. Hi, Buddy. Bye, Buddy. Apparently at the airport, leaving San Francisco and going to the Atlanta Hawks.
Love you, buddy. Yes, sir.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, whatever.
It's just, but like you can tell from that little.
Who set that up as like? Was that you who set it up as it being all sad? Who said that? Was that you?
That's not me.
I didn't.
Maybe it was Chardol.
It was Chardol. Well, someone said like he looked all sad, and I didn't. I mean, whatever.
Okay. Wait, sorry. I mean, not particularly sad, but you can tell from his body language, like he feels distraught, right? Like he didn't realize he was actually gonna leave. Like
I thought the only thing about it that was weird to me is that he was alone. I was expecting at least like at least one other person, an entourage. Like he's just solo in the airport. Like, buddy, you're making $10 million a year, man. You can hire an assistant.
That by itself, just him walking out like that is already like dark enough, because he knows weird. Like I feel like he didn't want to leave, knowing that he had such a relationship, especially with Jimmy. I know he's out, but like they just that's what I was saying. Like when I saw that, even if it was just for jokes and like shits and giggles, like it just for some odd reason it just made me feel bad. Like I don't know why. Like this guy has not been so consistent on the team yet. When I saw that clip, all of a sudden I'm like, the heartstrings are tugging. Like oh man.
Yeah.
It like, and I'm in my head like, why do we still have pods? Buddy, get your number this, man.
Even though Buddy like was revered personally, his game has like remember all the warnings that Kings fans and
Sixers fans
were passing along, like you're not going to enjoy the Buddy ride, and they were right except for that Game 7. That Game 7 like was so huge for Buddy Hield's like reputation in his brief stint with the Warriors being salvaged, because without that, it would have just been an ugly run.
I mean, he has such a weird career for himself. Like, he literally was. So he started off with the Pelicans, and then he moved on to like Kings, Indiana, Sixers, and he ended with the Warriors. But it's weird because there was a point and moment where he actually legit played like an all-star. Like, he was averaging like 20 plus a game.
He did.
Shooting great efficiency from three, playing good defense. You know, people wanted him on the team, and then he just regressed. Like, I don't know what happened.
I don't know either, man.
But,
but again, the folks who followed their teams that he was on a consistent daily, even hourly basis, like, their warnings really did come true. It's just, he's just not consistent. Like, he just feels like if someone asked me, like, what's your summary of the Buddy Hield experience? It's just inconsistent. Like, when he's streaky, like when he's on fire, dangerous as F. And the NBA side note, or maybe not side note, just part of this discussion, keeps track, I know I've said this before, of gravity. It's a new stat they introduced just this season. It's an official stat that they're tracking. And Buddy's gravity, he's among the league leaders. Like, even though he's streaky as F, nobody wants to just let him free. Nobody wants to just dare him to shoot. Like, nobody's at that point.
But that's what I was trying to say. He had more upside than he had more downside when it came to him versus Pods and who you want to get rid of first. Because if you would have got rid of Pods first, like, okay, we can say for Buddy, like, if we would have kept Buddy instead of Pods, let's say, hey, Buddy, you got to come off the bench, play 10, 15 minutes. I'm okay with that because I know he's streaky and he's inconsistent, but he's not giving heavy minutes. Now, if you're talking about Pods, who Steve Kerr literally sees as his next son, next to NICK, you know who? It's unbelievably bad. It's a horrible. It's like one of those. It's so bad, it's good movies, right? Like, that's how bad it is, and it's bad.
And then you have Ace 1900 who asks or brings up that they'd rather have a Buddy Hield than Pajemski, and that's a tough one. I'm gonna lean with Ace 19 being
me too.
Correct. I'm going to lean toward yes. I agree. Even though it's a tough one to answer, I'm going to agree with you. I'd rather play Buddy over Pajemski.
And honestly, too, with JK, because look, Porzingis, we don't know what he'll be when he comes back. Even with all this Rick Celebrini magic healing, like, there's only so much one man can do, and it's like JK at least was like, I don't know, like maybe like a month or so. Or a couple of weeks ahead. They said something like his leg will heal and he'll be able to play again, and he's still relatively young. And it's like, I feel like they should just stay pat. Just stay pat. Play JK, give him the minutes. Buddy come off the bench 15 minutes or so. Bench Sideshow Bob, and then then see what you can get in the draft, and actually get something around Curry that can help. And let's see and then when Jimmy comes back fully healthy, then let's see what can happen. Maybe Giannis could have had a better chance coming then. Who knows? Like, that, I really think that would have been better than what they did.
And by the way, Barbara in our chat saying you need to listen to the older pods where you were shitting on Buddy every game. Again, I'm not saying it's an easy decision. It's a tough choice.
It is
like
tough.
I would rather you just not put me in that position where I have to pick one. I would like to pick none, zero, both out. But if I have to pick one, I think I'm going to lean Buddy just because at least he spaces the floor. Like, Pajemski doesn't even space the floor.
And his
gravity number is not awful. Like those gravity stats I brought up a second ago. GP2 is literally, not exaggerating, literally the worst gravity player in the NBA, and which is a glaring stat. I was curious what Kuminga's gravity stat is. Unfortunately, he has not played enough minutes.
Yeah,
to have that stat displayed.
Wonder why.
but Pajemski was in the middle of the pack. Like it wasn't super high, it wasn't super low. It was like average, mid. Just mid, just like how. But he doesn't space the floor. Or at least Buddy will.
And also, Sai, what you have to factor in with Buddy is that he also had a great locker room presence with the guys.
He did.
So that obviously helps build key with like positivity and helpful strategies maybe moving forward in games just for like the flow and like the content itself. But Pods is like, you even said it yourself earlier, like every little mistake, either big or small, he's always pouting, complaining to the refs. He doesn't get back on defense in time. And when he tries to draw a charge, he complains about that too. I'm like, dude, stop being a whiny little bitch and play some damn basketball. You're getting heavy minutes from your stepdad, and you're not even playing the game. Like,
all right, Bloomer, any
man.
final thoughts, man? How's life? Everything good with you and the family and all that good stuff?
Oh yeah, everything's going great, Si. It's literally ever since I met her, my life's been so much better. You know, I'm just tired of being alone. But obviously, I still got my folks here too that I take care of and watch. I like my grandparents. Like I take care and watch over.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah, she literally. I'm telling you, she's a blessing from God, man. She's the angel, man. I can't. I don't want to like screw up because I had so many past relationships. I don't want to screw up. I think she's the one, man. She's the one.
Happy for you, brother.
Yeah.
Just keep
whatever
you're doing.
I really hope someday you find your special one too, man. You deserve it.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. When I actually am interested in finding that person, if that moment ever comes, I'm in a weird spot in life. Sorry to make it personal here, but I'm enjoying the freedom. It's not a normal place for me, but right now the fact that I can just do whatever the hell I want, and I've got my amazing pup, and
Bubba.
Look, I don't know about you. I don't know if you feel the same way, but to me, like if you have any game in this world, you could just go to any bar, to any social setting, and find something. Like I don't know if I'm getting old, but I just don't feel the need for that, man. I feel like if the time is right, or if I ever feel desperate, I could just go somewhere down the. I'm fine. Bloomer is what I'm trying to say. I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm glad you're happy.
But it's because we like, folks like us, like, we care about you. You put out great content.
The romantics of the world. Are you saying you're romantic like me? I respect that.
I'm not no love guru, but
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like, you value the very ideals of
I just want to see people happy and good with themselves. Like,
I agree with you 100% there.
Moving forward in the world, because right now the world's a crazy place. I don't want to get all into politics, but it's hard. Like, right? It's
100% agree with you there.
And I mean, this is a basketball program, but like things factor in on the outside that can affect you when you have to do your job. So, hey,
and by the way, some people in our chat right now quickly mentioning GP2. He did have a good night, and as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, he was utilized properly, meaning he wasn't out there as playing the power forward position. He wasn't out there as one of four guards. Like when he was out there, he was the smallest dude. Like he was out there typically like maybe D'Anthony Melton was out there with him at times, but they were usually surrounded with wings and physicality and size. And congrats, you actually utilized him correct.
Definitely better than Sideshow Bob.
Real quick here. Armando emailed me something.
Hey, the professor.
The professor sent me something, and I let's just see what this is.
Let's do it.
I just got an email. Wait, every time I get an email, I'm supposed to play this thing, right? Or the little open.
Letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
All right, so this is from the Professor Armando Laura. And that open, by the way, is an homage to the great David Letterman. Who
I love that opening.
That on his Friday mailbag. Yeah, and it actually, and Chardal actually researched the origins of the sound there. It comes from like this talk show in the 50s that was in black and white. And the original clip has like the Rockettes doing their leg kicks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then Dave Letterman took that and made it for a brief while his Friday Open, and that jingle has been in my head for like 30 years. And I was like, you know what? I love Dave. Let's I'll repackage
Can't beat the classics, man.
But this is he is. This is what Armando sent me. I don't know why he sent it. I have not even looked at this. So if Armando is trying to sabotage my life, we're on the right track here.
There we go.
I don't know what he sent us, but let's listen to it or see it. Oh, Kuminga did a block. What's the point? Why are we watching this? Is it just because of how dominant he was?
Son of a bitch.
Okay, so Kuminga's block of Jalen Brunson.
Wow.
Why bring that up right now, though, Professor? I'm just curious. Like, it's an awesome highlight. It's an awesome play.
What's sad about that is we're not going to see that anymore.
I know. Yeah.
But anyways, final thing I gotta say, Si, is that you obviously make great, legit, real warrior content and don't BS no one. Like I that's the thing about your program. Like I've always tried to look at certain YouTube channels or other like streaming platforms that provide legit, serious warrior talk. Because I'm a diehard warrior fan since 09.
Me
Like
too.
I want the real thing. Obviously there's gonna be like parts where it's gonna be all wholesome and happy and stuff, but you gotta mix it in with the real stuff. And if it goes the way where others don't like it, that's fine, because that's how reality works.
By the way, Julian Bashir, and thank you for that, brother. I appreciate the kind words. This whole media scene is insane, man. The fact that the whole media, in terms of what it was to where it is now, it's crazy. I mean, we used to live in a time where, there was just a handful of outlets and they were like real gatekeepers controlling the information, controlling the power in terms of who they hire, who they bring in. I still don't know how the hell I even got into this. And this is why one of the many reasons why I push college, even though trying to sell people on college these days is very tough considering the cost. And I don't want anyone to go into debt, but maybe the worst part is the fact that housing is a scarce resource now. And for the college experience, it's ruined it. Because once upon a time, like the way college used to exist is you apply, you get in, and you move to this place away from home, and it's usually a college town, and it's half the town is young people, and you just you find some shitty apartment, and you shack up with either whoever you're going to school with, and they put you in a dorm room, or you're lucky enough to have friends that you can live with right away, and maybe you make those friends in college and you move in with them in year 2 or 3, but you move in with them to a different place, and you go through these 4 or 5 years, however long it takes you to graduate, 6, no judgment. And in the process, you network, you make all these friends, you're figuring shit out. Most importantly, you're figuring yourself out and who you are. And the classroom part of it's always been secondary. I mean, I know certain majors require a very rigorous academic study and pursuit. Engineering is a good point of that. There maybe if you want to be an MD, you absolutely have to pay close attention to academics. But generally speaking, like the beauty of college was just all the social experiences, right? And you figuring out who the hell you are as a person and growing and coming out of this, hopefully being a bigger, better person and setting yourself up. But that's become damn near impossible because there are no apartments and houses for people to rent anymore. So you can't go to these college towns because everyone's bought up the houses. Everybody wants homes for themselves, and there just aren't enough, which is really crazy. And so anyways, I brought up the whole college thing largely because it's just an experience that just what were we talking about? I forgot I forgot. We're going on 3 hours. Forgive me. What?
Yeah, sorry. No, you were talking about like going how when we go to when it comes to education and stuff, that we need to be knowledgeable, and like how going to college is like it helps out with like better understanding. Versus like
this point though, but anyways,
yeah.
Going back, William Bashir in the chat is saying that sorry about that. Massive brain fart on my, and it'll come back to me probably. But Julian Bashir is saying the reason why Armando Lara sent that clip of Jonathan Kuminga blocking Jalen Brunson is because that's likely what the New York Knicks and anyone else in the East is going to have to be accustomed to when they play in the first round. So we shall see. The reason why I brought up the whole college thing is because the media has changed so much.
Yeah, media.
And I got into it in a very different time, but even back then it was also still very toxic, and so much of it was based on who you knew. But I got the opportunity because of an internship, and you're only getting that internship if you go to school, right? Like most internships require you to get college credit in order to be accepted for this thing. A lot of them don't even pay, but you got to get that experience. You got to get your foot in the door. And I was lucky as F, man. I had a classmate at San Francisco State University. That was I think the third or fourth school I went to. I hopped around a bunch of schools. I went to Humboldt State University. Then I went to Cuesta College in San Luis Obispo. Then I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And by that point, I really figured out what I wanted to do. And I also realized Cal Poly is not the right school for it because San Luis Obispo is in the middle of nowhere. And if you want to make your mark in the media game, you got to be in a big market, right? You need to have an audience. So I transferred to SF State, and one of my classmates, this guy, Brian Smith, Brian, shout out, what's up, was my connection. And it wasn't because I knew, I had like this privilege that I grew up in. It was because I applied for an internship at KNBR. They originally told me that the only internships they offer are in promotions, right? And promotions internships, in case you don't know what that's about, is just driving to different locations. You drive like the radio station truck, and you bring a tent, and you bring all these giveaway things, and maybe there's like a gimmick there with some hope. So the interns are doing the grunt work to set these things up, and I had zero interest in doing that. I'm like, promotions, like I'm into programming. So I didn't know what I was going to do. But then a classmate of mine, Brian Smith, we were going to SF State together. He was working at KNBR. And I'm like, how the hell did you get in there, man? Because he was a producer already. He was an assistant producer at that point. And he was like, oh, you got an intern, man. And I'm like, well, yeah, I tried. I applied. And all they offered was promotions. And they said, maybe like a year from now, they can transfer me to programming. It took Brian Smith, my classmate, to go, oh, dude, just reach out to this guy. Give me a name. His name was Pat Olson, another figure that I owe my life to. At the time, he was a sports director at KNBR, still the radio play-by-play voice for the USF Dons, still around. And so Pat, I called him, and he's like, yeah, let's do an interview. I go to his office, I do an interview, and I apparently said the right things, and he offered me the job, which started everything. But important side note, back then, this was 2000. I don't know what the whole drug testing scene is like nowadays. But back in 2000, marijuana was still a huge faux pas. There was a massive stigma. California had just a few years before passed, I think, Prop 215, which legalized medicinal marijuana. But just because it was legalized didn't mean that suddenly there were dispensaries. It was still damn near. You still had to go through like the old school drug dealer route just to buy the shit. It was different times. And I was a huge stoner in college. Still kind of am, I guess. But completely unproductive. I was a party animal, and that was my life. Different days. And so Pat Olson goes, yeah, so congratulations. I'm like, oh my God, I got an internship at a radio station that I grew up listening to, that this was like my goal. And he goes, yeah, so you got to go here and take the drug test. And I was like, I was like, okay. And I immediately went to Haight Street and bought this concoction. It's like this tea that they used to sell. And again, I have no idea how this stuff works now, if it even exists. But so I made this tea, I drank it, and supposedly, like, if you drink this tea and then take the drug test like 30 minutes later, you pass it. And I'm like, all right. And this person on Haight sold me. They're like, you'll this stuff works, guaranteed. I'm like, okay. And right at the same time, I had a study abroad opportunity to go to Australia, and that got offered to me. This is like life, life is different for everybody. You're going to come to forks in the road, most likely, at various points. And this was a fork in the road moment for me. I was like, all right, if I fail this drug test, I'm going to Australia. I'm going to study at the school there for a year and surf and single. I'm like going to meet Aussie girls, and it should be the time of my life. Like, but if this tea works and I pass my drug test, I guess I'm going to be an intern at KNBR. And so I go to this drug test place in the city, and my pee is like neon green when I peed in this cup. And I thought, I'm cooked. I'm like, I'm going to Australia. I guess I just blew my shot at working at KNBR. This shit worked. I passed. And so that's my story and how I got hired at KNBR and passed the drug test. But the point of the story is, that's why you go to school. That's if your goal is to do all this, is because it's how you get opportunities. Now, with that said, this media game is also night and day from what it was, man. And we're in this current climate where, like, all the traditional places, whether it's a newspaper, whether it's a digital media company that's corporate, whether it's like a KNBR, whether it's a TV station, whatever the organization is, all these corporations are so like feckless. None of them are want to touch controversy. Like they just act in this very fearful manner. And thankfully, it's opened the door for new media. It's opened the door for programs to be on YouTube, and I am lucky to be a part of a network with Believe. And they gave me a shitload of freedom, and I'm grateful to them for that. It's how we have the FanDuel partnership. But my whole point is, thank you for finding us. Thank you for being a part of this ride. I know you have a ton of options out there. And for anyone who's still sticking with us, we're grateful. Thank you very much. And that's my story on how I got into the media.
Yeah, and final thing I'm gonna say, Sai, before I go and bring on Chardal, I was just gonna say for tomorrow's happy hour, I'm just thankful and lucky just to even hear you and the professor, 2 OG professors, just hashing it out and talking basketball with like legit, just I'm thankful for seeing content like that. I don't know about anyone else because sometimes they'll just flip through any type of Warrior content, just like, oh, just these 2 old heads talking. I'm gonna find something else. Nah, I'm not like that. I actually want to hear something factual and that can make me insightful. I appreciate you, Bloomer. I mean, because this doesn't exist without you and everyone else. So the love is mutual. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And thanks for appreciating what we're trying to do here, which is like the 2 A's is my goal, is authenticity and accuracy. And if we can nail that, great. And I know being authentic sometimes, and even accurate, right, sometimes is controversial. There's an old line from Marcus Aurelius. I'm actually reading his book right now, which goes that the truth will often offend stupid people. Lies will offend smart people. And so anyway, so we try to be authentic and we try to be accurate and honest and all that stuff. But sometimes the truth riles people up. And case in point, you have a lot of people who love Steve Kerr, and we sit here and blast them regularly, and I think it's justified. But at the same time, even though I don't think it's controversial, a lot of people take it as such, and so I'm grateful for you and everyone else, brother. Thank you. You and Armando has hit it on the head so far, and I'm glad and happy to hear more tomorrow on the happy hour. And I'm grateful to Armando for being a part of this. I hope someday soon this. And Sharia too. Sorry. What's up? And Sharia too. And anyone and you, I'm grateful for you, dude. I mean, shit, you're a part of this as well. So thank you. And means a lot, man. Yeah, brother. I'm right back at you. It means a lot too. And I'm appreciating. And I know I'm positive Armando is glowing right now hearing that. Side note again, tomorrow we're gonna have an earlier than usual happy hour, 4 p.m. Pacific time. The professor Armando Laura joins me. And then Saturday, the Warriors are in LA to take on the Lakers. Any thoughts on that before we let you go? What's that? Any thoughts on the Warriors being in LA to take on the Lakers? Oh man, that's gonna be a doozy. I can't wait. Oh shoot, let's see it. Let's hope some tall Latvian guy can suit up and help. And also, he's not going to though. It's going to be no. I mean, realistically, I think Monday the Warriors are back home and they're hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. I would guess so. More of a home game return. Exactly. Against a weak team. Okay. It's easier to assimilate Tingus Pingus into the lineup. It's such an awesome nickname. I'm going to make a bleep version of it so we can play that clip on the show. It's way too crass for me to just play that unedited. Google Tingus Pingus, though. Tingus. Yeah, Tingus Pingus. All right. Bring on the danger zone. Thanks, Bloomer. I guess it's that time. Chardal, are you ready? Oh, well, no, let's do one email. Chardal, just wait one more second because I want to at least get to one email. Or one or two, and then we'll get to you, I promise. Give me 1 second. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters. First of all, Kyle Valentine, is part of our audience, and Kyle wants to come on the show because he had a back and forth email exchange with Joe Lacob. And Kyle, if you're watching this right now, just jump on the show. Stop, please do me a favor and stop waiting for me to like email you a link a day in advance or something like that. Just get on the show if you've got to, because I know I sent it to you late tonight. But Kyle really wants to come on and talk about again, a literal back and forth with Joe Lacob that apparently the San Francisco Chronicle was going to cover this story and then backed out last minute. And I got wind of it. I'm like, Kyle, just come on our show and talk about it if you want. But anyways, so Kyle, a message to you on that. Now, April Esgueta emailed us and she writes, "Good morning." So, we need music. Hold on. Please forgive me. Let's get the tunes. And Chardal, you're coming on next, I promise. Letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters. All right, now we got it all set up. April Esgueta writes, good morning, Cy. I listen to your show Golden Days after every game. And I'm guessing since you wrote listen, that you're listening to the podcast. Respect. Side note, Apple Podcast, if you are a subscriber and or listen to us through the Apple Podcast platform, give us a 5-star review, please. We'll also read any 5-star reviews that you include a written portion with on the show, if that entices you any. But we could always use your support there. And the Steve Kerr apologists, man, they like our show's 4 out of 5 on Apple Podcasts, which is good, but it's not great. And it's entirely because of these Kerr haters. If you read all the negative 1-star ones, like, this guy, how can this guy attack Steve Kerr? It's all the same shit. So if you don't mind supporting us and helping us out, we would tremendously appreciate it. Anyways, going back to April Esgueta's email, writing, I hear what you're saying about Brandon Podziemski and Steve Kerr. I hear what Kerr says after games and mostly losses. Steve Kerr is only interested in his own legacy, and that includes Stephen Curry. Podziemski is just Kerr covering up for his failures. Steve Kerr has to have someone to throw under the bus later. This team cannot play on an NBA court if Steph is not in the game. Kerr does not know how to coach without Curry on the court. I also hear you say Kerr just needs to play his best players. Honestly, the players he's playing, he thinks they are the best players in his mind. You're probably right. If Curry is all he coaches around these players, they don't know what they can do on their own. They are on the court totally clueless. No Curry, no way our players succeed. When all they ever hear is, get one more? Here's a short all time. Chat, any thoughts? All right. All right. Let's bring Shard off. April, again, thank you. We'll read some more emails tomorrow night. We're at the 3-hour mark. Let's get Shard on the show.
Stay at home, son.
We're in the danger zone when Shardall's on the program. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing okay, man. What was your post-game? What was your post-game routine tonight? Did you go on any radio shows or?
I went on 95.7 the game.
Did you ask them if they're propaganda?
I didn't do that. What you said me. I promise I'll do it.
Okay. Thank you. What did you?
I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. You make some great content videos on a platform. As the Golden State Warriors dismantle the Phoenix Suns by a final score of 101-97, they snap a 2-game losing streak. Behind Pat Spencer's amazing performance, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Pat Spencer should be on the Warriors for the remainder of the season, because he's like our glue. Like he can have a great performance any day, and
Agreed.
He's amazing.
Agreed.
Like he's one of the best players. He's one of the best. Pat Spencer is one of the best players on the Warriors right now.
Yes, you are amazing, Shardall.
That means a lot. That means a lot coming from your. That means a lot coming from you to me. That's an honor.
Shardall, what did you talk about with Mark Grande tonight?
It was Evan Giddings, not Mark Grande.
What did you talk about with Evan Giddings tonight?
I just told him that the Warriors took down the Suns. It was a great win. We got to we got to keep this winning streak alive when we go up against the Lakers. And I always love calling it the 95.7 the game, because I just love the radio network. It's a great, great platform.
Great time.
A lot of callers call into 95.7 the game. Today, unfortunately, not that many callers called in today. But I've been calling the past days, and more people have been calling in.
Shardal, what did you think about the Warriors putting up a franchise record, 37 3-point attempts in the first half, and they made 41% of them?
The Warriors are one of those teams who can pull off amazing feats like that.
Great answer.
I mean, because the Warriors are that kind of team who can wow you in every possible way that they can do it.
That's a good answer, Shardal.
That's why I like the Warriors, and I'm a diehard Warriors fan. And I cover this team every single day.
You do, and you do it marvelously.
So
are you ready for a scoreboard check, or do you want to talk about your YouTube channel first, or
so my viewers, make sure subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm at 522 subscribers. I'm on the road to 600. So if you like all of my content, please go there. Give me a like, give me a follow, and ring that notification bell so you never miss any of my wonderful content.
Yes, sir. And again, in case you need some visual assistance in terms of finding SGA Sports Talk channel, here's the open again as we go back to the danger zone.
Stay at home, son.
Well, you are life's big winner, Shardal. Being a stay-at-home son, there's nothing that beats that. By the way, the injury report for Saturday's Warriors-Lakers game currently not submitted. Neither is the injury report for Saturday's Hornets game at the Atlanta Hawks. The Hornets currently have an 8-game winning streak, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be watching to see how Jonathan Kuminga assimilates with his new team. Any thoughts on that?
And viewers may also make sure to subscribe to Golden Days. Size at 5,190 subscribers. He's 810 subs away from 6,000.
We're getting there. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I appreciate all of you.
I should be your I should promote your channel every time I'm in the chat. I'll promote your YouTube channel so everybody can go over there and subscribe to your channel.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and spit on that thing.
Like Hawk Tua says.
Exactly. We're keeping Hawk 2 alive. She cannot die. What are your thoughts? I apologize. Real quick, Shardal. I have 2 paid chats here that I missed. I feel awful about this. Better late than never. Please forgive me. And Shardal, you get to participate as well. Bay Area 7546 dropping a $5 donation. Thank you, sir. Writing, quick question for us real Bay Area fans. Who was a worse pick, Trey Lance or Kuminga? Both scrubs, horrible picks. Thanks for being and thank you for the $5. Is that a clown? That is a clown. At least you're paying that clown. I'm a paid clown. It's the ones that work for free that you can call homeless. My answer to that is Trey Lance. I don't think it's even up for discussion because Trey Lance clearly sucks. Whereas Jonathan Kuminga, we have no idea what he actually is as a basketball player. We're going to find out.
I'll say Trey Lance was a worst pick because Trey Lance was awful. He didn't have a great game when he was on the 49ers. He was getting so much flack every time he was on the roster. All the fans were giving him so much flack. But I don't agree with that because I love Trey Lance. I'm a Niner fan for life. I still have Trey Lance's jersey in my room still.
Good.
I have a Deebo Samuel jersey in my room. I have a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey in my room still. Even though those players don't play in the 49ers anymore, I still collect their jerseys still.
You know what jersey I still have, Shardal?
Which jersey? Which? Terrell Owens?
I have a Terrell Owens.
What are your thoughts on Terrell Owens?
He's all right. But I do have, it still hangs in my closet, a Terrell Owens Niners jersey. Another $4.99 chat. This one from Spreewell was right. Again, Armando Laura and yours truly will be going live tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time for a new episode of Happy Hour. And Spreewell was right. That is the name of his YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Writes, hey, Cy, how come no one but me can see Bad Hombre chats? Well, what? Many people say it don't show up and he's delivering poetry. I have zero clue. I actually don't have control over like the people blocking each other. But something tells me that they blocked him. That would be my guess. But I don't know. Bad Hombre, if no one, I'm seeing your chats, Hombre. And Spree and Armando can see your chats. But if the people are saying it's not showing up, it's because they blocked you. And that's a dick move.
So I'm so excited that the opening ceremonies for the Winter Olympics are tomorrow. And then the Super Bowl is 3 days after. 3 days after.
Correct. And Larry Hoods is saying unlock us Bad Hombre. No. What I'm saying is, like, Larry, if you're not seeing his content, you blocked him. And I don't know why or how. I don't know what's going on, but Bad Hombre, I see you loud and clear. And maybe the best way to circumvent this or to reappear is just create another handle. I mean, your handle here says Bad Hombre 670. I'm sure you could create another one that says Bad Hombre 671.
I
don't know what's going on. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't know.
I won't be able to join.
Yeah.
I won't be able to join Friday Happy Hour tomorrow because I'm gonna be at the 2026 Super Bowl experience at the Moscone Center tomorrow, which is the interactive football theme park. Which
hey, you.
I'm kidding.
Bro, which has
what is
photo. I'm gonna be at the Super Bowl experience at the Moscone Center. It's like a interactive football theme park. There's gonna be like photo opportunities over there. There's gonna be interactive games and activities like the 40-yard dash. And another one is where you have to it's a quarterback target challenge where you have to throw a target and then you have to hit certain targets. They have points listed on them and fun stuff like that. There's player appearances, so there's going to be Christian McCaffrey is going to be there.
Oh, that's cool.
Kyle Juszczyk is going to be there.
Who?
Kyle Juszczyk is going to be there.
Nice.
And the wives of George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk will be there. Claire Kittle and Kristen Juszczyk will be there.
What about CMC's wife? Isn't she like the most?
CMC's wife isn't going to be there, unfortunately. It's just going to be George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk's wife. They're going to be there tomorrow. Jamarcus Ware is going to be signing.
Real quick, Shardall, what are your thoughts on George Kittle's wife? And I don't know if Juszczyk's wife. Did I pronounce that right?
Kyle Juszczyk's wife is the wife who makes the custom puffer jackets for the players with the numbers on it.
That's not what I was asking. Is Juszczyk's wife joining Kittle's wife in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue? Did you see that Brittany Mahomes on the cover?
Kristen Juszczyk is going to be on the Sports Illustrated cover.
Oh, she is.
She's going to be on the Sports Illustrated cover.
Okay. That's cool.
I think George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk's wives, I think they're really talented. I think Kristen Juszczyk is so talented with how she creates the jackets with the numbers. She is very talented. I don't think if I tried to do that, I wouldn't be able to do that. What she does.
Okay.
Yeah, and my mother loves to embroider. Like embroidering, embroider cloth and stuff like that. She reminds me of Kyle Juszczyk's wife. Kind of similarity. I'm kind of making a comparison.
This is the current Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue website. Is Kyle Juszczyk one of these in this group?
So
I think Jordan loves
Claire Kittle is on the Sports Illustrated cover, not Kristen Juszczyk.
Okay. So who's in this picture? Can you identify everyone in this pic?
Claire Kittle's all I recognize from the picture.
That's her right there. I think this right here is that WNBA player who plays with Caitlin Clark. Forgot her name.
Sophie Cunningham.
I think that's her because she's dating an NFL player. One of these individuals is Jordan Love's wife. I think that's her. I think. I don't know who the rest of them are.
Here
we go. Here it's Ronica Love. That's Jordan Love's wife. Normani. I don't know who she's with. Oh, Haley Cavender is here. That's not Claire Kittle. Why is this like screen cut off?
Oh, I think I know who Normani is. She's the singer with Sam Smith. She filmed a music video with Sam Smith.
So she's a singer?
She's a singer, Normani.
Okay.
And she's a very good singer, by the way.
I'm honestly surprised
she's very good at her art.
Is still a thing.
Normani should be a professional singer, and now she's gonna be one of the many ladies on the Sports Illustrated cover.
Okay. Are you surprised?
That's an honor for all these ladies to be selected for the Sports Illustrated cover.
It's Normani, Brittany Mahomes, Kristen Goff, Ronica Love, Haley Cavender, and Claire Little.
Oh, I think I know all of these ladies.
I got it wrong.
Brittany Mahomes is the wife of Patrick Mahomes.
Correct. That's her right there. Is right there. She's Normani, I think, right?
That's the one right there is Normani. The one the third to the left.
And then either the second from the left or the far right is
so Christian
Haley Cavender. I don't know who.
So Kristen Goff is the wife of Jared Goff.
I don't know which one is her though.
Kristen Goff is the wife of Jared Goff.
I don't mean to be all pervy here. I wasn't trying to do that. I'm just shocked that there's still a swimsuit issue. I did not realize that was still a thing.
What were your thoughts on the win tonight? You know, this was a big
good win. It was
we're on a one game. We snapped a 2-game losing streak, and now we're back on the winning track. And we just need to keep this up.
Yes, sir.
If you want to go on a 2-game winning streak, we got to keep this up.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. It was a fun game to watch. I was very pleased, and again, it just reinforced yet again that this team has some talent on its roster.
So when I was watching, when I was watching the Warriors, when I was watching this game on my TV, I almost lost my voice because I was screaming so loudly.
When you do that, are your parents?
I was so.
Where are your parents when you're doing that?
My parents didn't have a problem with me yelling and screaming.
I get that, but like, are they like upstairs and you're downstairs, or where are they in comparison?
No, we don't have an upstairs and downstairs in our house.
So
we only have one. We have one room.
Okay.
We have a living room, family room, kitchen room, my room, my dad's room, and my mom's room.
Just 2 bedrooms? That's it?
No, we have one bedroom, 3 bedrooms.
1 bedroom, 3 bedrooms?
No, I have 1 bedroom in my room. My dad has 1 bed. We have through 3 because there's 3 rooms. My room, my mom's room, and my dad's room. So 3 beds.
Well, your mom and dad sleep in separate rooms?
No. My mom has her separate room. My dad has a separate room. I have my own room.
Gotcha. Well, which one is the room that your mom and dad sleep in?
No, we don't have. Well, they have separate rooms. They don't have one room where we both sleep. And it's not like a hotel where you get one room and then you share beds. We don't. I get that,
but like your parents are married, right?
Yeah, they're married.
So, but don't they share a bed when they sleep at night?
No, they don't.
Interesting. I know. So, look, some couples do that. I get it. Is it?
No, but
because of your dad snoring, or what's the reason for that?
No, I don't know the reason for it.
Okay. I'm always curious. I've seen that before. It's not abnormal or anything.
It's cringe. We don't do that.
Okay. All right. Respect.
Some couples share 1 bed.
I know. I know they do. Yeah.
But
Do
but our family's not like that.
Do your parents each have their own a big bed or like a small, like a twin size bed?
My mom has a big bed. I have a small bed, and my dad has a big bed.
Oh, your bed's a twin?
Yeah.
What do you need? Yeah, what do you need a bigger bed for, right?
I need a small bed.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Is your bedroom huge?
It's small.
It's small.
It's a small room.
You have a desk in there? What's going on?
I have a desk in there.
What's on the desk? A computer?
Just some bobbleheads and stuff.
Bobbleheads of who? Of what?
Of Stephen Curry and some Sharks bobbleheads.
I gotta get my Stephen Curry bobblehead out and add it to the aesthetic here. A student of mine, when I was teaching at the University of Houston, gave me a Stephen Curry bobblehead as a present. It was one of the sweetest things anyone could ever do for me.
So in the garage,
anyways.
So in the garage, I have a Peloton bike in the garage, stationary bike. I use it, and my dad set up a TV in the garage so I can watch Warrior games while I'm working out on my Peloton bike.
Is that where you were tonight when you were screaming?
No, I wasn't. I would just working out on my bike, and then I can watch games on a TV in the garage.
So you were in the garage though. That's where you watched the game tonight.
That's where I watched the game tonight.
Is the garage like a man cave? Like it's got a rug and all that stuff?
No, we got some dumbbells in there, and we got a workout bench.
But it's got the hard surface, like the cement floor,
like a hard floor.
Doesn't it get cold as F in there, like in the winter?
It doesn't get cold in the winter.
How? Do you have a heater?
No, it just doesn't get cold in there.
Okay, that's interesting. It is Fremont. I guess you don't really experience the Super Bowl. Are you going to the Super Bowl? That's like almost.
I'm gonna go to Dave and Buster's to watch the Super Bowl with me and 3 of my friends are gonna be going. We're all rooting for the Patriots to win. We don't want the Seahawks to win. All of us hate the Seahawks because what the Seahawks did to the Niners and they beat us 41-6, and they absolutely slaughtered us. F the Sea Chickens.
Sea Chickens, Sea Cocks, whatever.
Tomato.
Tomato. Do you have siblings?
I'm the only member of the family.
Okay, but you have grandparents, right?
I have grandparents, but they don't live here.
Where do they live?
They live in India.
Oh, but do they come to visit?
They've come to visit here, but they haven't come to visit in a while.
I'm a little. Are they both parents? Their parents are alive. You have like 4 grandparents.
No, I have my grandparents from my mom's side, and then I have my grandparents from my dad's side.
That right? So 4 of them. You have
four of them.
They're all still going.
They're still going.
Congrats. That's that you're lucky in that front. But I'm surprised your parents haven't like just flown them out here and bought them homes here. Is that by design? Like your parents like the space?
The space.
Are you gonna watch the Super Bowl at Dave and Buster's with your best friend?
I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl with me and 3 of my other friends, and I'll also ask if my other friend wants to come as well.
So you might watch the game with there might be a group of 4 of you and maybe 5?
5, maybe 4 or 5.
Are you all like dapper gentlemen? Like are you at Dave and Buster's just
We're all dapper gentlemen at Dave and Buster's.
Last time you went to Dave and Buster's you were wearing a tux, is that correct?
No, I wasn't wearing a tux. I was wearing I was wearing my 49er jersey.
Okay, but are you gonna wear a tux this time or the Niners?
No,
jersey?
just I'm gonna wear a red, white, and blue jacket, and then I got a new pair of shoes.
What kind of shoes?
Red, white, and blue shoes for USA because the New England Patriots are playing. So I'm gonna wear my red, white, and blue jacket, and I'm gonna wear my red, white, and blue shoes.
You have a lot of interesting little trinket items that
and
you
then
own.
I'm gonna wear that to the game when I go and watch the big game.
How many pairs of shoes do you own?
A lot.
Give me just a guesstimate. How many do you think?
11 pairs of shoes.
Damn! Look at you.
I'm like Patrick Mahomes.
Do you have a pair of Jordans in there as well?
No.
I
would love to add some Jordans, and I would love to add Stephen Curry's new shoe to my collection once it comes out in stores.
You know, Chardal, last time you came on the show, you told us that Stephen Curry had signed with Nike, but I still haven't seen that report. Why did you say? Why were you so confident?
I found a social media post saying that it's official that Stephen Curry has signed with Nike.
I'm looking it up right now.
It said it was released on the 4th of February, but it's actually going to be unveiled on the 14th. The 4th was just when it was released, but it's actually going to be unveiled. Like they're probably going to have a big unveiling for the new shoe. They're going to have probably a ribbon unveiling, cut the ribbon and everything, and have one spectacle, and everybody coming to the store and buying the shoe, and probably Steph's going to be there too. I would love to see Steph Curry there.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out if this is real or not.
It is real. It is real.
But again,
why would they post something not real?
Because
why would they?
Because
they would not post anything false. I mean, if it's
people can lie on social media, Shardall, you know that.
But if it's false, but why would they post false stuff on the internet? Why?
I don't know, because they're idiots.
But why would they? Why would they?
In this world, so this is on Facebook.
So it is true.
Everything I'm seeing about him in the shoes is just social media, but I don't see like any sources, right? Like this one's from Basketball Legacy, and it writes per source. But I don't know if it's I don't look. I'm not doubting that he's going to sign with Nike, but I just haven't seen.
But it's saying breaking. It's saying breaking. That means if they're saying breaking, it's probably breaking news. They probably have made it official because it says breaking. Anytime somebody says breaking, that means they made it official.
But anybody can write that. It doesn't mean.
But like, what does that mean?
It means that.
But it says breaking. Doesn't it mean when, like, for example, if there's a big trade and they say breaking, that means that player's going to come here.
If the source of the information who's saying breaking is trustworthy, yes. But if you don't know who's actually saying it,
then how can you trust the person what they're saying?
What's up?
Then how can you try if it's saying breaking? Then isn't it 99% that's actually going to happen?
No, it depends. It depends entirely on who's actually saying it. And see, this one's on Instagram, but Instagram's not a source. This is from Steph Center.
I mean, if you want to find out about if Steph Curry's actually signed with Nike, you should go to his Instagram page, his Facebook page. They'll probably have all, because usually on Instagram,
correct,
they have all of like, you know, like all the updates whenever something happens and a player really does something, you know, or a player comes comes over here. Instagram normally has everything on Instagram.
Right.
So they'll probably show something on there.
You're right. This is Stephen Curry's Instagram page.
So they should show his shoe on here, right? The Nike unveiling.
They don't. I mean,
they
should. Well, again, when it's official, I think he will. This is why I don't think it's official yet.
So are they? So is it? So are they make? Is the social media? Are they making it up by saying that he unveiled with Nike, but he hasn't actually unveiled with Nike?
As of right now, all indications are that it is being made up.
So are you trying to say I'm bullshitting all this?
I'm not saying you're bullshitting, but what I am saying is that just don't trust anything you read.
But I don't. But sometimes the problem with me is whenever I go on the internet, I trust everything the internet says, and that dupes me.
See, this is why I still have a 1% suspicion, Shardall. You're Kaiser Slow saying all of us, because this is some outlandish shit. Come on, Shardall.
I never say anything outlandish.
At the bare minimum,
I've been coming on your show for so long. How would I say anything outlandish?
But again,
I'm not like Barber. I'm not like Barber. I'm not like Barber. You know, Barber, who had like a confrontation for 2 hours straight. You were arguing and bickering back and forth with Barber. He was laughing at you. You guys weren't getting anywhere. I'm not like Barber. So you don't compare me, and don't compare me to that idiot.
I'm not comparing you to him at all. That's not who.
No. But if anybody compares me to him, they're idiots. They compare me to Barber.
Fair enough. But Shardall, from now on, if you read something on the internet and it doesn't have a name attached to it, start there. Okay, like moving forward, if you read something on the internet and it doesn't have a name of the author, the person, the specific person actually providing that information, be skeptical. Find out who the actual person is reporting it, and if you can't find the name, don't trust it.
Just like they said that LeBron James was coming to the Warriors, that wasn't true. I'm not sure why NBA puts all these fake stuff, hoaxes that players are coming over here. LeBron is coming here. LeBron will never come here. You'll never come to the Warriors.
Just double check with me if you're ever uncertain, right?
No, but I'm in denial because I go on YouTube and I don't know what I'm looking at.
I know.
And I'm like, am I looking at the right thing or am I not looking at the right thing? So can we go over the scoreboard and wrap up the show for the night? Because I would love to talk about these games.
Yes, let's do that. All right. Let's go through the association. Hold on. I don't even have my score. Oh, here it is. Okay, so the scoreboard on a Thursday, February 5th. The trade deadline officially wrapping up today. Any trades that excited you, Shardal, or impressed you?
So the Golden State Warriors fans were buzzing about this Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, and the trade failed. I'm like, why is everybody was so on the bandwagon that Giannis is going to come over here and play for the Warriors? And then when they traded for Kuminga and Hill to Atlanta, and then they got Kristaps Porzingis, but now they waived Kristaps Porzingis for some reason because he failed. He failed his physical.
Where did you see that? That's not true.
No, but I looked on Google and then it said that he was on the Hawks. But then when you look on Google on Wikipedia, it says Warriors. So he probably got waived. He's no longer in the Hawks anymore.
He got traded to the.
No, they said he got waived.
No.
I looked at it. It said waived. Am I wrong? Because it said he got waived.
It's wrong.
Why you? So are you criticizing me that I don't know what I'm talking about? Because it clearly said he got waived from the team.
Whoever said that is wrong.
Then where should I look at it? And Shams Charania said that he got waived. Then you're criticizing Charania for what he does?
If Shams says it, trust it.
Shams said it.
Yeah, then
it was coming directly from Shams Charania.
He did not say that Kristaps Porzingis.
No, but everybody was saying when I looked online, it said waived.
No, Tingus Pingus was not waived. He was traded to the Warriors.
So should I stop believing in that stuff and
if it's not true
and getting my information correct?
If it's not true, yes, correct.
Yeah, sometimes my information is not correct, and I feel bad about that because sometimes when I look at my information,
if you don't know, just ask me.
My information is not. Sometimes my information is 99%. It's not accurate.
I don't know.
It's not the right information.
I don't know. But what I do know is, if
I feel bad that I keep bringing all these false stuff on the show.
It's okay. You're fine. Let's go through the scoreboard. Let's wrap it up. We start.
Forget about Barber. Can you ban Barber from the show so it never comes on?
Ban him from the show. Why are you two talking shit to each other?
No, but the way he was arguing with you and he was bickering with you, can you please get him off the show? I don't want that guy coming on the show.
It's fine. It was entertaining.
He's a pain in the ass. I don't want that guy coming on.
It's fine. Okay, let's go through the scoreboard. The Washington Wizards winners tonight over the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. We call that an upset, folks. 126-117, the final. The Wizards improving to 14-36. Detroit dropping to 37-13. I have to look this up. A player named Will Riley was anointed by ESPN as the player of the game. Have you ever heard of Will Riley, Shardal?
I see. This is the problem with the NBA. They have all these rando players are coming in this thing, and like I don't even know who this player is. Like, do you know why the NBA keeps?
Well, I want to share the audience
signing all these random players.
This is his profile picture on ESPN. Will Riley. I don't know if you folks can see that.
I don't know Will Riley.
I never heard of him until tonight.
I've never heard this man's name before.
He's 6'9", just 180 pounds. So I'm picturing a stick man, and he's very young. He's only 19 years of age. He's about to turn 20 in 3 days, but he's a rookie. He was picked 21st in last year's draft by the Utah Jazz. I don't know how he ended up on the Wizards, but he's on the Wizards. And tonight, he was the top performer, had 20 points, 6 rebounds to lead the Wizards. That's a kid. That's just a little child.
That Warriors and Suns game, that made my blood boil.
Why?
Because I thought the Warriors were going to lose that game. It was looking very likely that they were going to lose the game, but the Warriors made a comeback and they won the game. And
it was beautiful.
It was amazing. I mean, they made a comeback in the fourth quarter.
It was.
Normally the Warriors are not able to they collapsed in the fourth quarter, but this time it was the Warriors that made a comeback, and the Suns collapsed.
Yes, sir. Will Riley finishes
Which
the
is
game
beautiful.
with
I mean,
a
and
team
and
high
they and imagine
20
if they
points.
do that. Imagine if the Warriors do that against LA.
It would be awesome.
The same way this game. Have you ever seen Warrior games that come down to the wire? Like this game came down to the wire. Never. This game is the first game I've experienced that came down to the wire.
Will Riley, 20 points on 9 of 14 shooting, 2 of 5 from deep, adding 6 rebounds, 5 assists. That's part of the upset by the Wizards.
You know, we should go to a Warriors game together if that's something that is
Are you buying tickets?
up. I'm thinking about going to a game. We could look over the schedule and I could let you know when you're free, and then we could go.
Let's we'll talk about that. Right
Yeah,
now,
that would be kind of fun to go to a Warrior game with
you.
you.
The scores for now. The Orlando.
I'm
Magic-
sorry to get sidetracked.
You're okay. Orlando with an easy 118-98 win tonight over the Brooklyn Nets to improve the 26-24. Brooklyn dropping to 13-37. Jalen Suggs with a triple-double, 15 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. The Brooklyn Nets, Igor Demin, a rookie, I think he's one of the rising stars, was their top performer tonight. 26 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in the loss for Brooklyn, who drops to 13-37. The Atlanta Hawks, maybe their last game without Jonathan Kuminga. I have no idea if he's going to be available for them Saturday, but they won tonight, hosting the Utah Jazz, 121-119. The final in that one, Atlanta improving to 26-27. The Jazz dropping to 16-36. Jalen Johnson, his new teammate, Kuminga's new teammate, 22 points, 16 rebounds, 15 assists. That is an impressive triple-double. Collier for the Utah Jazz. Is it Isaiah Collier? Is that his first name? 25 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists in the loss. Yes, Isaiah Collier. Well, are you excited, Chardell, to see Jonathan Kuminga play for the Hawks?
As a Warriors fan, I'm really excited to see Jonathan Kuminga play for the Hawks because as an NBA fan, I like this. I like to support whether they're on a different team because I'm a Warriors fan for first of all. So I wish him good luck. I wish him the best of luck in Atlanta.
Yeah,
hopefully everything works out for him over there. Hopefully he feels good with his teammates. They respect him over there. Hopefully everything works well for JK over there. But anytime a player leaves an organization, it definitely leaves a hole in your heart when a player leaves the team.
By the way, Barber,
because everybody loved JK, and when he left, people were heartbroken when he left. Just like when Jimmy Butler got injured, everybody was like somber. The moment the like everybody in the room was very dejected. Like it was not very happy. That would you say that's the same thing with Jonathan Kuminga, or would you say that the Jimmy Butler injury and JK leaving the Warriors, would you say it still has the same somber kind of atmosphere where people feel like it kind of this sucks? This really hurts.
Atmosphere. I like that imagery you're painting there.
Would you say that the JK trade, Jonathan Kuminga leaving the Warriors and Jimmy Butler getting injured, would you say that it's very similar? Like it kind of leaves a hole in Warriors fans' hearts. Either if anytime somebody happens something like that, it definitely hurts because it's not easy to soak it in.
Agreed, and he was part of the title team, of course, man. He's going to be missed, man.
It hurts, I wish the reason, and I really miss JK because I wish he was still around because I didn't get an autograph from JK when he was on the Warriors. So
that's sad.
It'll be kind of weird to get him when he's on the Hawks, right? On an opposing team. It'll be kind of weird to get his autograph, right?
All right, we're getting.
But you think he'll still do it? You think JK will still? You think he'll still sign my jersey even if he's a member of the Hawks? You think he'll sign my jersey still?
I think he would. The Toronto Raptors,
just like Klay Thompson is on the Mavericks and he signs a Warrior jersey.
Yeah, there you go. The Raptors 123-107 winners tonight over the Chicago Bulls with their the Bears, the Bulls. The Raptors beating them 123-107.
So I watched the Ditka and Sausage SNL sketch. Man, I loved it, man. That was funny, man. Mike, anytime you have Chris Farley in a sketch, it's always cinematic. It's very funny. I love all the SNL sketches, but I was thinking we could on my show. I was thinking that we could have we can have an SNL sketch marathon, and then we could all watch all the SNL sketches and react to which ones are our favorite.
You get flagged for copyright very fast doing that.
No, we should.
But it's a good idea.
I mean,
Charlotte,
but
let's get through this. I didn't
sorry.
realize it's past 1 a.m.
I'm sorry to get you off of the topic.
Let's just finish reading these scores. Toronto beats Chicago 123-107. Toronto improving to 31-22. Chicago dropping to 24-28. Brandon Ingram 33 points. 6 rebounds, 6 assists in the win. Gershon Yabusele, recently traded to the Bulls, played tonight, delivering 15 points, 11 rebounds in the loss. The final in Houston, the Charlotte Hornets 109-99 winners tonight to I believe that's their 8th straight win. They improved to 24-28. The Rockets, are dropped to 31-19. Con Knippel, 24 points in the win. Kevin Durant, 31 points, 5 steals in the loss. I still cannot believe the Houston Rockets did nothing at the trade deadline. That was egregious. Yeah, Charlotte.
So my best friend is a Utah Jazz fan, and he was absolutely furious when he heard that Lonzo Ball got traded to Utah. I'm like, what the F? Because Lonzo Ball got traded to Utah from Cleveland.
He did?
He was playing on Cleveland. He was playing on the Cavaliers. He got traded to Utah at the NBA trade deadline.
But they cut him, right?
No, he's probably still on the Utah Jazz. I don't think they cut him.
They're indicating that the Jazz are going to release him so he can be.
They're going to release Lonzo Ball so he won't be on the Utah Jazz.
Correct.
But I thought he was on the Utah. I thought he got traded to the Utah Jazz at the NBA trade deadline.
Technically, yes. He's currently with the Jazz, but the Jazz have no intention of keeping him, so they're gonna waive him. I don't know why.
Why are they gonna not keep him?
Because they
do they not have any need for him?
They don't have minutes.
But what if he does? What if they keep him on the team and then he does something magical? He does something great on the Jazz. Then what happens? Well, they should just keep him then. You never know. He might just go off and score like a triple-double or something.
Hold on, let me see what this the story reveals.
And I don't want to be wrong if that's not true.
NBA insider Chris Haynes, Mark's brother, reported that the Jazz are planning to waive Ball. The why of that, let me see if there's a why. No reason. My guess is when teams do that, it's because they just have no intention of playing him, keeping him. The trade was likely just.
Is it fine if is it fine when I get off the show? Is it fine if I plug your channel and my channel so people can subscribe to your channel and my channel?
Of course. 2 more. Can we go through 2 more scores so we can?
Yeah, we'll go through 2 more scores.
The San Antonio Spurs 125-123 winners tonight over the Dallas Mavericks. Victor Wembanyama 29 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists in the win. Cooper Flagg 32 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks in the loss for the Mavs, who dropped to 19-32. The Spurs improving to 35-16. One last score, the LA Lakers. This is Golden State's next opponent. They're going to be at Crypto on Saturday. The Lakers winning tonight 119-115, hosting the Philadelphia 76ers. Austin Reeves, 35 points, 6 rebounds in the win. Joel Embiid, 35 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists in the loss. Philly drops to 29-22. The Lakers improving to 31-19.
So as a Philadelphia 76ers hater, this is what you guys deserve. After you beat us and you embarrassed us, you made a mockery out of us when you beat the Warriors. This is your karma. You lost. The Lakers beat you guys because you should not have You should not have gone after me, and this is what you get. So
a quick standings check.
Say that.
The Warriors. This win was important because had they lost, they would have fallen 4 back in the loss column. I'm sorry, 5 back in the loss column to the Phoenix Suns. But because they win, they climb up to just 3 games back of Phoenix for the 7th seed. The Lakers are currently the 6th seed. The Lakers are 5 games ahead of the Warriors in the loss column. And then the Minnesota Timberwolves are the 5 seed, 4 games ahead of the Warriors in the loss column. The Rockets and the Nuggets also with 19 losses apiece. That's 5 games ahead of the Warriors in the loss column. The Warriors, meanwhile, maintain a 3-game lead over the LA Clippers, who are the 9 seed currently. The Warriors are the 8 seed, so 3 losses separate those two teams. And then the Portland Trailblazers are currently the 10 seed with a 23-28 record, 4 games back of the Warriors in the loss column. This win was huge tonight for the Warriors' postseason chances, Shardal.
So given the current trajectory after the Suns game,
You're crazy, man. You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy.
Wrap it up, Shardal.
after the trajectory.
Stay at home, son.
And let's leave the danger zone. I'm tired. Finish it up. Close this out.
So I'm going to predict the Warriors are going to finish the 2020-2026 season with a 44-38 record.
Ooh. That's a bold prediction, Shardal.
And I'm going to stick with that prediction.
All
and
right,
if somebody tells me that prediction is wrong, I'm not going to change my ways. You know, I'm a rigid man. I don't whenever I say something, I don't change anything I say. Doesn't matter if people come in the chat and say, dude, that's not happening. That's my prediction. I think they're going to end the season 44-30, 82-game season. That's what they're going to finish the season with. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with my prediction, or you have something else that you can share?
I'm not predicting a damn thing when it comes to the Warriors. I feel like I'm like the bookies. The bookies don't know. I don't know. Let's just sit back and enjoy.
And that's gonna make them fall. That's gonna thrust them into the play-in, and they'll be between the 7th and 8th seed.
Yeah. Shardal, say bye to everybody. It sounded good.
Viewers, make sure to subscribe to the SJ Sports Hall channel. I'm at 522 subscribers. I'm on the road to 600. And make sure to subscribe to Cy and Golden Days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused. He's at 5,190 subscribers, 810 subs away from 6,000. And there was a video clip on YouTube, and there was a reporter who asked CMC what his favorite movie is. And CMC said Dazed and Confused is one of my favorite movies. I could watch it over and over and over again until I get sick and tired of it. CMC actually said that, so you should go back and say that. That'll make your day if you go back and watch that video of CMC saying that. It'll make your absolute day. I'll see you for the Lakers and Warriors game. I'll give my score prediction before I leave for the night. I'm going Warriors 155, Lakers 100. Stephen, and I'm going Pat Spencer with 35 points, 10 boards, 12 assists.
Triple double for Pat.
Triple double for Pat Spencer. Tomorrow. As the Warriors are gonna blow the Lakers out at Crypto.com Arena in LA.
We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m.
I'll see you for the Warriors and Lakers post-game show. See you later, guys. I'm closing out. I'm leaving for the night. See you later, guys. Bye.